Chapter 521 Miracles always exist. Outside the teleportation array, Lin Moyu met Feng Ziliu and his party again. Lin Moyu bowed slightly to Feng Ziliu. Thank you for telling me about Gao Yang. If there is anything you need me to do in the future, you can come to me. Feng Ziliu quickly waved his hands. I wouldn't dare, I wouldn't dare. The expressions of several people were slightly nervous and a little unnatural. The person in front of them was no ordinary person, but a god general. The youngest god general of the entire human race, possessing combat power comparable to a god tier at only level 53. How could they, such people, be able to associate with such a big figure? Being able to meet and say a few words was already an immense honor. Lin Mo knew it would be difficult to change their minds, but still said, there's no need to pay too much attention to status. We are all human race professionals with a common goal, so we are comrades. Feng Ziliu nodded vigorously, trying to make himself appear less nervous. Thank you, God General Lin. I wonder how God General Lin's friend is. Lin Mo said, he's already fine. That's good, that's good. We'll go back to the academy first, Feng Ziliu said. Lin Mo nodded. After you return, do as the academy instructs. Don't think too much, it's all right. Watching Lin Mo's departing figure, the few of them were somewhat dazed. Someone whispered, Boss, what does God General Lin mean by that? Yeah, I feel like God General Lin knows something. This time the academy urgently summoned us back. Did something happen? Feng Ziliu also heard the implied meaning in Lin Mo's words. Don't think so much, let's just listen to God General Lin and do as the academy instructs after we return. Are you afraid that the academy will harm us? Lin Mo knew that they would be under strict supervision after they returned. At least for a period of time, they would not have freedom. But there was no other way. What the Empire needed to do now was to control the spread of soul-devouring beasts. To allow the soul-devouring beasts to erupt in an orderly manner. Soul-devouring beasts were difficult to defend against for ordinary people, and the same was true for some low-level professionals. Therefore, they could only be controlled on a large scale, which was also unavoidable. Only when the soul fusion array was completed could this control measure be lifted. Leaving the city, the cold wind scraped against his face like a knife. The inside and outside of the city were like two different worlds. Starting from the city gate, there was a small path leading directly to the Kunlun Mountains. There were a large number of secret realm instances in the Kunlun Mountains, with both low and high levels. Therefore, here, you could see many teams with huge differences in levels. They were either returning to the city from the instance, or departing from the city to go to the secret realm instance. It was extremely lively along the way. The Kunlun Mountains were located in the northwestern border of the Divine Summer Empire, bordering several countries. Especially Kunlun Main Mountain, where you would often encounter professionals from other countries. Occasionally, some conflicts would break out. However, the Divine Summer Empire was strong, and most of the time, other countries would back down. Lin Mo, dressed in simple clothes, looking like a life-type professional, walking alone, attracted attention. Especially the temperament he exuded, aloof and noble, with restrained aura, appeared extremely special. Lin Mo ignored the gazes of others, thinking about Gao Yang's matter in his heart. Before leaving, he went to the Summer Capital Academy and found the principal of the Summer Capital Academy, hoping to specially recruit Gao Yang into the Summer Capital Academy. As the youngest god general, a promising existence, with 3 top god tier teachers behind him. Lin Mo had a great say. Not to mention Gao Yang, even if he sent a pig in, it was estimated that the principal would have to bite the bullet and find a way to handle it. Gao Yang successfully entered the Summer Capital Academy, and Lin Mo also transferred 10,000 points to him as his expenses in the Summer Capital Academy. Not giving too much, 10,000 points was enough. Lin Mo believed that with Gao Yang's silly personality of making friends widely, he would not have a bad time in the Summer Capital Academy. Snowflakes floated in the air, and after entering the Kunlun Mountains, the temperature dropped again. At this time, many professionals who were not high enough level began to be unable to withstand it, and they put on thick coats. Only night warriors wearing heavy armor, relying on their strong physique, still felt nothing. Even some mages had already put up shields. At this time, Lin Mo became even more special. Along the way, some people began to be curious about Lin Mo, pointing and pointing. What level is this person? I can't tell. Looking at his attire, he should be a life-type professional. What is he doing entering the Kunlun Mountains? Life-type professionals generally don't have much combat power. Isn't it very dangerous to encounter monsters? I think he should be a special kind of professional, called a herbalist. I've heard of this profession. It is said that this profession has the ability to discover rare medicines. Yes, because herbalists have to enter various environments all year round. They not only have a strong adaptability to various environments but also can predict various dangers in advance. Lin Mo's senses were extremely sharp. Listening to these people's conversations, one by one, he found it a little funny. He seemed to have really become a herbalist. However, the profession of herbalist did exist, and he had seen it in books before. In reality, herbalists were not common. However, the role played by herbalists could not be underestimated. They could not only enter various environments but even enter secret realms to collect herbs. They also did have the skills to predict various dangers, and could retreat completely even if they went to very dangerous places. And the various rare medicines they brought back were also needed by pharmacists. In the records of history, there was once a top herbalist who entered a secret realm as high as level 85. In the secret realm, he discovered a realm within a realm, and brought back a strange flower from it. This strange flower was favored by a god-tier pharmacist at the time, and was eventually sold for a sky-high price. The herbalist therefore obtained gold coins that he could not spend in several lifetimes. And the god-tier pharmacist who bought the flower used this flower to concoct an incredibly magical potion. It could even allow god-tier experts to undergo professional sublimation. This potion was known in human history as the god-tier sublimation potion. It was a pity that it had only happened once in recorded history. The recipe was left behind, but that strange flower had never been discovered again. Lin Mo thought about what he had seen in his mind, and also felt the magic of the world. Any kind of miracle could happen. He believed that even if there were skills or potions that could revive the dead, it was not impossible. Just like the corpse poison, even an existence like Antares believed that the corpse poison could not be resolved. But he could resolve it. Miracles always existed, but people had not discovered them. The smooth road came to an end, and in front of him was a secret realm entrance. The secret realm was only level 30, belonging to a low-level secret realm, and was also the closest secret realm to Kuncheng in the Kunlun Mountains. Next to the secret realm was a magic stele, and you could obtain detailed information about the secret realm by communicating with spiritual power. This secret realm had existed for many years and had been fully developed by people. The valuable things in the secret realm were long gone, and now it was more of a sightseeing spot. If there was nothing to do, you could go in and take a look around. A place in the secret realm called Ice Volcano, with fire in the ice and ice in the fire, was a unique landscape. A good place to fall in love. If I have the opportunity, I can come and see it with Yi. Lin Mo thought of Ning Yi. After getting to know, falling in love, and loving Ning Yi, they spent little time together. When he had free time in the future, he really had to take a good walk. 35. Ning Yi had also said that she would take him around the world when she had the chance. Lin Mo also agreed. This world is not just the human world. Ning Yi wants to go to the abyss, the dragon realm, the ancient battlefield, and the corpse realm. The little girl is extremely interested in every place and wants to see everywhere. Lin Mo didn't enter the secret realm, planning to save the beautiful scenery inside for the future, to see it with Ning Yi. Bypassing the secret realm, he entered the Kunlun Mountains. The wind and snow grew heavier, obscuring vision. The Kunlun Shrine Dungeon is located deep in the Kunlun Mountains, at the foot of the main peak of Kunlun. At Lin Mo's pace, it would take another hour to reach it if he didn't fly. The number of professionals along the way continued to decrease, and there were fewer and fewer people. "Hey buddy, aren't you cold?" A thick voice sounded in his ear, and a knight in heavy armor was greeting Lin Mo. This was a 12-person team, and their direction also seemed to be Kunlun Shrine. Lin Mo saw the knight's appearance, which was somewhat similar to Jia Lan Liang. He was practically a younger version of Jia Lan Liang. Then he saw the badges on them, and sure enough, it was the Jia Lan Guild. What a coincidence, Lin Mo murmured in his heart and said, "What is your relationship with Jia Lan Liang and Jia Lan Yeyu?" Chapter 522, Hoping Such Days Can Last Long. Jia Lan Jiafeng was stunned when he heard Lin Mo's words, "You know my eldest brother and second sister." Lin Mo nodded, "I know them." Jia Lan Jiafeng laughed heartily, "So we're on the same side, what a fate. I'm Jia Lan Jiafeng, what's your name?" "My surname is Lin." Lin Mo didn't say his full name, otherwise, they wouldn't be able to get along normally. Jia Lan Jiafeng didn't mind and asked loudly, "Brother Lin, aren't you cold?" He was as cheerful as Jia Lan Liang, but compared to Jia Lan Liang, he was less mature and more energetic. Lin Mo shook his head, indicating that he wasn't cold. With his physique, such a little bit of cold was nothing. The current temperature should be around -20 degrees Celsius. Except for knights, warriors, and other professionals with high physiques, even archers and assassins were already feeling the cold. Lin Mo said he wasn't cold, which meant Lin Mo's physique attribute was not low. Jia Lan Jiafeng smiled, "Brother, are you going to the Kunlun Mountains to gather herbs?" It seemed that Jia Lan Jiafeng also regarded Lin Mo as a herb gatherer. Lin Mo said, "I'm not going to gather herbs, are you going to run a dungeon?" Jia Lan Jiafeng generously admitted, "Yes, the Kunlun Shrine Dungeon. But Brother Lin, you have to be careful going to the Kunlun Mountains recently. Recently, professionals from country A.San have been active in the Kunlun Mountains, and many conflicts have occurred. If there are many people, it's okay, those A.Sans dare not mess around, but if Brother Lin is alone, you have to be careful." The Kunlun Mountains are located on the western border of the Shengxia Empire, stretching for thousands of kilometers and bordering many countries and forces. Most of them are small countries and small forces, and their professionals dare not offend the Shengxia Empire. Only a country called A.San often clashes with the Shengxia Empire. However, Lin Mo didn't take the other party seriously. A.San has a population no less than that of the Shengxia Empire, and there are also many professionals. But their talents are really average, and there are only 3 or 5 god-level powerhouses. And they are all low-level gods, the highest level is only 92, even not as good as the Sakura country. Lin Mo has experienced so much and seen too many strong people, he doesn't take them seriously at all. Jia Lan Jiafeng saw that Lin Mo didn't speak and said to himself, "Those A.Sans are not very normal, anyway, Brother Lin, you should be careful when you meet them." He kindly reminded him, and Lin Mo smiled and reminded, "Thank you, I will be careful." The wind and snow grew heavier, and Lin Mo Shui trudged through the snow, which became deeper and deeper. Later, the snow had already passed his ankles. After crossing several snow-covered hills, after walking for more than an hour, he finally arrived at the main peak of Kunlun. Under the main peak, a dungeon entrance was slowly rotating. The rotation brought out invisible power, hooking up a large area of wind and snow, rotating around it together. The moment Lin Mo saw the dungeon entrance, his body trembled slightly. He seemed to see a phantom of a palace that was more magnificent than the border. The palace was 10,000 meters high. Standing in front of it, Lin Mo seemed to be looking up at a new world. That sense of insignificance arose spontaneously. Directly above the palace, a huge plaque hung in the air. The plaque read the 4 characters, Kunlun Shrine. The characters were flamboyant and contained some kind of universal truth. Lin Mo was fascinated for a while. This world has the Kunlun Mountains, and in the China world where he crossed over, there is also a mountain range called Kunlun. In addition to some connections in the text, Lin Mo felt that there might be some connection between the two. After being stunned for several seconds, the phantom disappeared, and Lin Mo came back to his senses. Jia Lan Jiafeng came to Lin Mo's side. "How is it, isn't it shocking?" Lin Mo nodded. Jia Lan Jiafeng said, "Everyone who comes here for the first time will see that palace when they see the entrance to the Kunlun Shrine Dungeon. I just don't know what that palace is called. I'm very curious, is it possible for such a huge palace to exist in the world?" "That palace is called Kunlun Shrine. It's just that the 4 characters on the plaque are ancient scripts similar to Chinese characters, which are different from the characters of the Shengxia Empire. Although they express the same meaning, Jia Lan Jiafeng doesn't recognize them." Lin Mo didn't say anything. This kind of thing is difficult to explain, it's better not to explain it. Lin Mo ejected a detection technique, and the information about the Kunlun Shrine Dungeon was sent back. Kunlun Shrine Beginner. Level 55. Limited number of people 12. Jia Lan Jiafeng said, "The Kunlun Shrine Dungeon is a special 3-stage dungeon. This beginner stage at the foot of the mountain is considered the easiest to pass. This time, I brought 12 brothers from the guild, planning to get a good grade and then directly advance to the middle stage at the mountainside. The 3-stage dungeon is divided into beginner, middle, and high stages. Only by passing the low-level dungeon with excellent results can you be eligible to enter the middle-level dungeon located on the mountainside. The middle-level dungeon requires 24 people, the number of people is doubled, but the difficulty is increased several times. It is much more difficult than the low-level dungeon, and only a few teams can get excellent results in the middle-level dungeon. The high-level dungeon requires 48 people, like a large dungeon. So the further you go, the harder it is to form a team. Even if a team is formed, if the cooperation is not tacit enough, you still can't beat it. In Jia Lan Jiafeng's narration, their Jia Lan guild doesn't have this problem. Many guild members have completed the challenge of the beginner stage, and there is no problem for them to form a team. Brother Lin, when we are proficient in this dungeon, if you need it, we can take you through it. Don't worry, it's free, no money. Jia Lan Jiafeng took everything on himself and made a promise before he even passed it. 36. However, Lin Mo also knew that it was his nature, not paying attention to trivial matters. Lin Mo smiled and said, "Okay, I'll wait." Jia Lan Jiafeng laughed heartily, "Then we'll go in first, Brother Lin, be careful." With that, he led the team and teleported into the dungeon. Request flowers. Lin Mo looked towards a place not far outside the dungeon. Many people were gathered there, setting up tents and making fires. It had already formed a considerable settlement. Some were recruiting team members, while others were making fires and grilling meat, creating a strong atmosphere of life. The environment on the mountainside was too harsh, so even some local professionals who were going to the middle section of the mountainside would gather here to rest. A group of people chatted and laughed, discussing how to conquer the dungeon, hoping to achieve better results. Lin Mo couldn't help but feel that the current days were much better than the chaotic era more than 1,000 years ago. I hope these days can last for a long time. His finger touched the vortex of the dungeon, and his mental power moved slightly. Enter. Swish. His figure disappeared, entering the dungeon alone. At this moment, someone outside the dungeon rubbed his eyes and said strangely, "Am I seeing things?" Just now, it seemed like someone entered the dungeon alone. 0. You must be seeing things. This is the Kunlun Shrine dungeon, a dungeon that's even harder than hell difficulty at the same level. How could someone enter alone? That's right, you must be seeing things. The man frowned. That's strange, I clearly saw someone go in alone. A middle-aged professional, eating grilled meat, said slowly, "In the past, some people tried to solo it, but without exception, they all failed. Why would anyone want to solo such a difficult dungeon? It's very dangerous. That's because of a legend that soloing can get you some special rewards. But for so many years, no one has been able to complete a solo run, so this legend is just a legend, and it may be false." Kunlun Shrine Dungeon, the same snow and wind, the temperature is lower than the outside world. The cold wind is biting, sweeping snow. Every snowflake has become a sharp knife. The skeleton armor was activated, flickering a pale light. Snowflakes hit the skeleton armor, making a sound like hitting iron. The snowflakes here have a lot of attack power. Walking in the wind and snow will cause damage. The temperature here should be below -50 degrees, with both freezing and snowflake attack damage. Freezing is a water element attack, and snowflakes are carried by the wind like blades, forming physical attacks. This is also the first test faced after entering the dungeon. Throughout the entire walkthrough process, one must constantly experience double damage. But this has little effect on Lin Mo. Although the skeleton armor cannot block the attacks of god-level powerhouses, nor can it block the attacks of level 80+ world bosses. But it is completely enough to block these ice and snow attacks. Lin Mo looked up and saw a towering peak in front of him. From the middle of the mountain, the peak was hidden in the clouds. The entire mountain was probably tens of thousands of meters high, and there was a mountain road that seemed to lead directly to the top. In the clouds, Lin Mo saw a pass. What he had to do was to follow the mountain road and reach pass. Chapter 523. Crude words are not unreasonable, the fist is the hard truth. There is a lot of information about the Kunlun Shrine dungeon, and Lin Mo already knew it before coming. This dungeon doesn't have so many twists and turns. Just follow the path in front of you and go directly to the pass in the clouds. Flying is prohibited in the dungeon. There are a large number of monsters blocking the way, and you need to kill all the way up. The difficulty of this dungeon lies here. There are many monsters, and their strength is not small. But for Lin Mo, this is simply a treasure trove for giving experience. It has to be said that the dungeon recommended by Shu Han is very suitable for Lin Mo. In fact, for most teams, it is not difficult to pass the initial dungeon. The difficulty is how to get a high score and get an excellent evaluation. To meet the basic requirements for entering the middle dungeon. When stepping out of the dungeon entrance area, an hourglass of more than 100 meters will appear in the clouds. As long as you can enter the pass before the sand runs out, and kill the boss in the pass, you can get an excellent evaluation. According to the experience summarized by others before, the time for the sand to run out is about 10 hours. If you fail to finish the dungeon when the sand runs out, there will be no evaluation. Even if you pass the dungeon, you are not qualified to enter the middle dungeon located on the waist of Kunlun Mountain. Fortunately, this dungeon can be challenged repeatedly, so most people can eventually pass it. Lin Mo did not act immediately, but looked at the mountain. The mountain and the main peak of Kunlun Mountain outside the dungeon are exactly the same, completely carved out of the same mold. But Lin Mo had a feeling that the Kunlun Mountain in the dungeon was more spiritual. This is a very strange feeling, indescribable. Why do I feel that the Kunlun Mountain in the dungeon is more real? Lin Mo said to himself, and then dismissed his unrealistic idea. Taking a step, he entered the world belonging to the dungeon. With a soft hum, a small part of the clouds dissipated, and a giant hourglass of more than 100 meters appeared in the air. The sand inside had already begun to fall. A roar of beasts sounded in his ears, the clouds cleared and the fog dissipated, and a large number of black shadows appeared on both sides of the mountain road. Immediately afterwards, a fishy wind blowing in the face, and several giant beasts had already pounced over. Lin Mo's eyes narrowed slightly. Wolf pack. The ones pouncing over were several white-haired wolves. Not the wolf-like monsters he had seen before, with various mutations and covered with scales. But the real wild wolves, the kind of wolves that he had seen in books, pictures, and even zoos. There is a very big difference between the two, so big that Lin Mo can recognize them at a glance. Others might think that this kind of wolf is also some kind of monster. But Lin Mo doesn't think so. It's just that these wolves in front of him are bigger and faster. Lin Mo jumped forward 2 steps to avoid the wolf attack, and at the same time, the detection skill had already flown out. Snow Mountain White-Haired Wolf Enhanced Elite Monster. Level 55. Strength 60,000. Agility 70,000. Spirit 30,000. Constitution 60,000. Skill Lightning Pounce. Characteristic: Damage reduction 30%, Life Force Enhancement, Speed Enhancement. Sure enough, it's unusual. A level 55 monster has the attributes of a level 55 Hell difficulty head monster. Although this attribute is not worth mentioning in his eyes, it is definitely considered high among other same-level professionals. Especially the various characteristics that the monster comes with. Just the damage reduction of 30% is better than many higher-level world bosses. Generally, world bosses have 1 or 2 damage reductions, but I didn't expect that this ordinary monster in front of me would already have a 30% reduction in all damage. In addition to the life force enhancement and speed enhancement characteristics that appear on bosses. 37. Lin Mo Yu could imagine that it definitely wouldn't be easy for other professionals to clear this dungeon. After repeatedly dodging the attacks of the Snow Mountain white-haired wolves, Lin Mo Yu became even more certain. The white-haired wolves in front of him were completely different from the wolf-type monsters he had seen before. This dungeon is strange, whether it's from the name, the words on the plaque I saw earlier, or the monsters now. They all seem to be related to Washa. Kunlun Mountain, the same name. What secrets are hidden inside? In Washa, there are thousands of legends about Kunlun Mountain. Some say it's the origin of the Washa mountain range. The Kunlun Mountains are the ancestor of all mountains, and some even say that immortals live in Kunlun Mountain. Now in another world, Lin Mo Yu has also come to Kunlun Mountain, and has seen many Washa elements. Lin Mo Yu is now very sure that there must be secrets hidden in Kunlun Mountain. He glanced at the hourglass. It seems that if I want to know this secret, I must clear all 3 stages of the dungeon. With my current strength, even if I know the secret, I won't be able to deal with it. Strength is the only truth. Teacher Bai was right. Although Bai Yi Yuan's words were rough, the principle was correct. Especially after witnessing the power of Antares, the Demon Emperor, and the Dragon Emperor, Lin Mo Yu strengthened his resolve to become stronger. He must become a transcendent, so that he has enough ability to deal with various problems. He tapped his finger. Skill, Curse of Aging. Skill, Poison Starburst. First, a red light flashed, covering nearly half of the dungeon. Then a green light exploded, and thousands of monsters in most of the dungeon were simultaneously cursed and poisoned. These monsters roared at the same time and pounced towards Lin Mo Yu. Among the monsters were wolf packs, lion packs, bears, and some beasts that Lin Mo Yu couldn't name. Without exception, there were no special mutations. They were just like the wild beasts in Huasha, pure and unadulterated. The undead legion and the poison lich appeared at the same time. The skeletons stepped on poison halos, and poison damage was almost simultaneously inflicted on every monster. The poison lich's halo, in conjunction with poison starburst, had the characteristic of infinite stacking. Every monster shrouded in the poison halo received over 350,000 damage per second. For monsters that were only level 55 with a constitution attribute of no more than 80,000, this was simply a killer skill. Even with life force enhancement, it was far from enough. The monsters had no chance to rush over, and died before even reaching the undead legion. Killed level 55 Snow Mountain White-Haired Wolf, experience 3,300,000. Obtained high-quality fur. Killed level 56 Ice Snow Lion, experience plus 3,360,000. Obtained high-quality fur. ... Massive information prompts popped up. The experience that hadn't moved for many days began to rise again. The undead legion advanced forward, and Lin Mo Yu quickly walked up the mountain road. He walked very fast, and had already completed 1/3 of the journey in less than 10 minutes. As the undead legion advanced, the poison halo displayed its power. There was no need to fight. Wherever the undead legion went, monsters died in droves. For a time, the dungeon was filled with green gas, which looked a bit eerie. Corpse explosion is indiscriminate damage. The weaker the monster, the weaker its power, the stronger the monster, the stronger the power. When dealing with low-level monsters, it's not as useful as the poison halo. It would be even better if the power of poison starburst could be stronger. Lin Mo Yu thought of the corpse of the poison god he possessed, which contained a large amount of the poison god's blood essence. Besides being able to use it to summon the poison lich, the poison god's blood essence could also be used to enhance poison-type skills. It's just that he's not qualified yet. Antares told him that at least after the 3rd job advancement, the poison god's 5.6 blood essence could exert its maximum effect. Although he was immune to poison, there were limits to his physical body and soul. Lin Mo Yu didn't doubt Antares' words and decided to use the poison god's blood essence to amplify his poison-type skills after the 3rd job advancement. When Lin Mo Yu stood in front of the pass, less than 1/20th of the giant hourglass in the air had fallen. He had completed most of the dungeon in just 30 minutes. This was an achievement that other professionals couldn't imagine. The pass was hidden in the clouds and mist. It was real clouds and mist. It wasn't on the mountain road, but suspended in midair. Rays of light from the array fell, forming a light curtain, blocking Lin Mo Yu's path. Lin Mo Yu jumped lightly and landed on the pass. The pass wasn't big, there weren't any extra monsters inside, only a boss guarding the pass. The boss sat in the center of the pass, as if dozing off. When Lin Mo Yu saw its appearance, he felt a thud in his heart and 3 words popped up: Bull Demon King. Chapter 524 Extra Reward, Kunlun Snow Grass. This thought flashed through his mind and was erased by Lin Mo Yu. The boss in front of him couldn't possibly be the Bull Demon King, it just looked a bit like him. It had a bull's head, stood upright like a human, and held a long spear in its hand. If you were to play the Bull Demon King, you wouldn't even need makeup, Lin Mo Yu said softly. The undead legion stepped onto the pass one after another, and the poison halo acted on the boss. The boss let out a low roar and woke up, and the detection skill fell on it at this moment. Kunlun Demon Bull Enhanced Leader. Level 58. Strength 150,000. Agility 40,000. Spirit 40,000. Constitution 150,000. Skills: Mad Bull Enhancement, Mad Bull Sweep. Traits: all damage reduced by 50%, greatly increased life force, greatly increased strength, curse resistance, control resistance. A level 58 boss with less than 400,000 attributes was similar to a level 58 Lord level boss, and a bit stronger than a level 58 Hell difficulty dungeon boss. When Lin Mo Yu saw the traits, he was a little speechless. There were so many traits, even a level 85 world-class boss didn't have as many traits as it. With these traits, even though it was only a level 58 boss, it could be regarded as a world-class boss. While Lin 29 Moyu was marveling at its powerful attributes, the undead legion had already rushed down. Lin Moyu tried to cast a curse, but it didn't have any effect. But this wasn't important. In front of the undead legion, whether there was a curse or not was just a matter of a few more axe strikes. The skeleton berserkers all unleashed their skills, and the red light with terrifying attack power landed on the Kunlun demon bull. The Kunlun demon bull let out a scream, shaking the pass. In just one exchange, it was already seriously injured. It wasn't that it was weak, but that the undead legion was too strong. The roar of elemental explosions sounded, and sharp arrows flew in, instantly sending it into a near-death state. As long as another wave of attacks came, it would definitely die. 38, level 58 boss, for Lin Moyu, is already an existence that can be easily crushed. Boom! With a loud noise, a brilliant light burst out from the Kunlun demon bull, and all the skeleton berserkers around it were blown away. Its whole body glowed brightly, and under the cover of the light, elemental explosions and sharp arrows were blocked. Skill: Mad Bull Enhancement. Lin Moyu felt its aura was getting stronger. At least 50% enhancement, almost a level 60 world boss. A very good skill, but still useless. The basic attributes are too low. Even if it increases by 50%, 100%, it's still useless. In the brilliant light, the Kunlun demon bull not only became stronger, but even the injuries it had just suffered were completely healed. It waved its spear, making low roars, like a mad bull constantly bellowing. It drove the spear to rotate continuously, and the spear pulled out circles of dense light bands, forming a ball of light. Skill: Mad Bull Sweep. Bang 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 sounds kept ringing. The skeleton berserkers were all blown away by it. It's not how strong the power is, but that this skill has a mandatory knockback effect. The skeleton berserkers couldn't get close at all. The skill not only knocked away the skeleton berserkers, but also knocked away the elemental explosions and sharp arrows. The elemental explosions exploded wildly, but no matter what, they couldn't break through its skill. Lin Moyu saw this kind of skill for the first time, integrating offense and defense, and also with a knockback effect. And, moreover, the Kunlun demon bull kept using it endlessly, with no sign of stopping at all. Lin Moyu couldn't help but frown. It seems that to kill it, I must interrupt its skill. Control skills are ineffective against it in most cases, so I can only use combat skills to interrupt it. A knight's shield strike, a berserker's weapon counter, and an assassin's counter kill skill can all do it. As for me, although this skill is very perverted, it can't stop Lin Moyu. The flame in his palm flickered, and the soul flame was activated. In the screams, the Kunlun demon bull's skill was immediately interrupted. Soul attack is very effective for interrupting other people's skills. In most cases, it's accurate every time. Now it is also the case, at the moment when the Kunlun demon bull's skill was interrupted, the skeletons had already rushed down again. It was another round of concentrated fire attack. This time, Lin Moyu never gave the Kunlun demon bull a chance to counterattack. Under the skeletons' frenzied attack, the Kunlun demon bull only lasted less than 20 seconds before being killed. Kill Kunlun demon bull, experience plus 580000. Obtain demon bull spear. Obtain demon bull leather armor. Demon bull spear. Platinum level weapon, all attributes increased by 2500, berserker skill amplification 80%, attached skill, sweep. Sweep. Continuously sweep enemies within a 5-meter range for 30 seconds. During the sweep, defend against most attacks and increase resistance to control skills by 50%. Demon bull leather armor. Platinum level armor, all attributes increased by 1200, all damage reduced by 15%. Two pieces of equipment that were not very good. Lin Moyu only glanced at them and put them away, to be sold for money later. When the Kunlun demon bull fell, the hourglass in the air stopped. Lin Moyu glanced at the hourglass, and less than 1/10 of it had leaked. Converted into time, it is about 40 minutes. At this speed, I should be able to get excellent, right? At this time, the hourglass turned into a stream of light and flew into Lin Moyu's body. Lin Moyu knew that he had been marked by the Kunlun Shrine dungeon. Lin Moyu knew that with his speed, getting excellent was inevitable. And his initial purpose here was to level up. Check the experience and leveled up by 3%. According to this speed, if I keep grinding for 24 hours, I can grind about 35 times. I can level up in one day, which is really good. There are less than 6 days left, and if nothing unexpected happens, I should be able to reach level 57 or so. Lin Moyu had already calculated the experience increase required for each level up. After level 55, the demand will increase significantly again. At that time, it may not be possible to level up in 2 days. Reaching level 57 in 6 days is already the most optimistic estimate. Lin Moyu's leveling speed has always been fast, but he has always been entangled in too many trivial matters. In fact, he doesn't have much time to grind alone. Just as he was about to leave the dungeon, Lin Moyu suddenly saw a small grass breaking out of the ground behind the pass. The grass was carrying a pure white light, holy and flawless. The detection technique flew out and landed on the grass. Kunlun Snow Grass. Additional reward from the Kunlun Shrine Dungeon. Beginner. Use 330 below level 80 to increase 1 level. Use below level 70 to increase 2 levels. Use below level 60 to increase 3 levels. A grass that can increase levels, unheard of. There is such a magical thing in the world. Lin Moyu was extremely shocked and immediately went to retrieve the Kunlun Snow Grass. The Kunlun Shrine Dungeon has existed for so many years, and I have never heard of the existence of such a thing as Kunlun Snow Grass. It is impossible for others to obtain it and hide it, it must not have been obtained. Could it be that to obtain Kunlun Snow Grass, you must clear it solo? Lin Moyu thought about the information in his mind. He thought that there was also a great player in history who had completed a solo clear. But it didn't say that he got Kunlun Snow Grass. However, that great player took more than 10 hours, and slowly grinded through the time. Lin Moyu guessed that to get extra rewards, you must meet the 2 conditions of solo clear and excellent rating. I don't know if I will get a reward for my next solo clear. Lin Moyu did not use Kunlun Snow Grass immediately. In Lin Moyu's mind, everything has advantages and disadvantages, and there must be disadvantages with benefits. He doesn't know what the impact of increasing levels in this way will have on him. Will it affect his future development? Lin Moyu is very cautious, so he doesn't plan to use it. He will use it only after asking Antares and confirming that there are no side effects. For him, the temptation to level up 1 or 2 levels is not great. Putting away the Kunlun Snow Grass, Lin Moyu left the dungeon. But only a few seconds later, Lin Moyu reset the dungeon and entered again. Chapter 525. It's not that you can't solo clear, it's that you can't do it. Lin Moyu didn't stay outside the dungeon for more than 5 seconds. There was a lot of wind and snow outside the dungeon, and Lin Moyu didn't stay for long, so most people didn't notice Lin Moyu. But the person who had discovered Lin Moyu going in before saw Lin Moyu again. He rubbed his eyes desperately again. I saw him again. The few people next to him drank some wine and had red faces. See who? It's the guy who went into the dungeon alone just now. He came out. Where is he? He went in again. 39. His words immediately drew a burst of laughter. You must be drunk, there's no one there. Or you saw a ghost, there's absolutely no one. No one believed him. Soloing the Kunlun Divine Palace, a 12-player dungeon, was unheard of. These people didn't have the same extensive knowledge as Lin Moyu, they couldn't go to the Academy Library or even the Royal Secret Archives to look up information. In their minds, it was impossible for anyone to solo the Kunlun Divine Palace dungeon, even the entry-level one. Amidst the laughter, the man dismissed his doubts, forced to believe he had truly seen wrong. No one noticed a pair of eyes appearing in the wind and snow. It appeared thousands of meters in the sky, looking down. Its cold gaze swept over the crowd through the wind and snow. No one noticed its existence. Finally, its gaze settled on the dungeon entrance, no longer moving. Lin Moyu's second run was even faster than the first. The undead army paired with the toxic lich was simply the ultimate weapon for slaughtering these dungeon monsters. Truly, the more that came, the more that died. Experience increased slowly and steadily. 3% experience per run was already quite good. Leveling up once a day was many times better than other professionals. After level 50, others would take months, even half a year, to level up once. Terrifying, only elder sister could be faster than me, right? Thinking of Lin Mohan, it had been a long time since he had seen her. The last time he saw her was in the ancestral land. Lin Mohan was even busier than him, never stopping. Becoming a disciple of a half-step transcendent was indeed not easy. Thinking of Lin Mohan, Ning Yi, and Mo Yun. Which one of them wasn't rushing forward at full speed? Killed Kunlun Magic Bull, experience plus 580000. Seeing the notification, Lin Moyu was expressionless. He looked at the place in the previous pass where Kunlun snow grass had appeared, but was disappointed. This time, Kunlun snow grass didn't appear. It made sense, obtaining one of these things was already rare and precious. A bit of wishful thinking. Lin Moyu chuckled, laughing at himself for thinking too much. He left the dungeon, preparing to enter again. Suddenly, Lin Moyu frowned, looking behind him. He felt like someone was watching him. His sixth sense was very sharp, he would definitely notice if someone was watching him. But a glance revealed nothing. In front of each tent, by the fire, people were talking to each other. A wrong feeling, Lin Moyu thought, using the cooldown amulet again to reset the dungeon. This time, to level up, Lin Moyu brought 3 advanced cooldown amulets. One was his own, and the other 2 were borrowed from Bai Yuan and Meng Wen. The 3 advanced cooldown amulets together could reset the dungeon 150 times, enough for him to use. Lin Moyu brushed the dungeon over and over again, the efficiency gradually increasing from 40 minutes per run to 30 minutes per run. In less than a day, Lin Moyu leveled up to 54. Attributes and skills all improved. However, Lin Moyu's brow furrowed even tighter. The feeling of being watched became more and more obvious, he would feel it every time he left the dungeon. But he couldn't find where the gaze was coming from. It should be an existence higher level than me, at least a professional over level 80. Who exactly is targeting me? Is it someone from the Demon Worship Society? Or have dragons or demons infiltrated? Lin Moyu pondered, but still had no answer. The human race's defense system has been very complete in recent years. Demons have to pay a considerable price to enter. And the strength of those who come over is not very high. Like the Flame Demon King, this level is already the limit. If it's changed to the Succubus Queen, at most a clone can come over. If a low-level deity really came, Lin Moyu was confident that he could make it a one-way trip. Can't figure it out, don't want to think about it. Face the soldiers with generals, and the water with earth. No longer caring about it, he began to brush the dungeon with all his strength. After level 54, the experience requirement increased a bit again. Each time he could only level up about 2.5%, which was much slower than before. But it was still within Lin Moyu's acceptable range. He could level up after brushing 40 times, and at his speed of half an hour each time, it wouldn't take a day. Gradually, Lin Moyu's figure was finally discovered. The first person who discovered Lin Moyu shouted, "Look, I told you I didn't see wrong, there really is someone soloing the Kunlun Divine Palace. Damn, is this guy crazy, going in and out, is he joking with the cooldown amulet? Look carefully, he's using an advanced cooldown amulet, and more than one. How extravagant, what is this guy's identity? Advanced cooldown amulets are not something ordinary people can get. I don't know, but no matter what is he doing going in and out?" Everyone was puzzled. Someone tried to call Lin Moyu to ask, but Lin Moyu ignored them at all, still going his own way. "I've calculated it, he comes out every half hour, almost exactly. It's such a waste, the cost of replenishing energy for advanced cooldown amulets is very high. Maybe he doesn't care at all. Comparing people is infuriating." Just as they were in a state of envy and jealousy, Lin Moyu came out again. This time, he was glowing, it was the light of leveling up. The aura brought about by leveling up failed to converge and leaked out, immediately shocking everyone. He actually leveled up, he's actually leveling up inside. How is this possible, leveling up solo in a dungeon? What a joke. Which brother is a high level? Take a look at what level this guy is. At this time, someone not far away said, he was level 54 before, now he's level 55. The speaker was a level 68 professional, only a little bit away from the third turn. His words were enough to convince the crowd. He's really leveling up in the dungeon. 40. This is a freak. After reaching level 55, Lin Moyu ran the dungeon again, and the experience only increased by 1.5%. At this rate, he would have to run it at least 67 times to level up. Even at his fastest speed, it would take 34 hours, more than a day. He calculated the remaining uses of the advanced cooling amulet, and there were 77 left. Just enough for him to reach level 56. A diaresis A. I'm still too optimistic. I didn't expect the experience requirement to increase so much. It takes a day and a half to level up once. Lin Moyu said to himself, but his hands didn't stop. After leveling up, he continued to replenish his undead army while running the dungeon. At level 55, he had 35 Lich Generals, increasing the summoning space to 1050, and the total number of skeletons in the undead army reached 36,750. He still used the average distribution method, with 12,250 of each type of skeleton, no more, no less. Although it seemed that the skeleton archmage and sharpshooter's attack power was not as good as the skeleton berserker. Especially under the strong soldier skill state, the explosive power of the two was far apart. But Lin Moyu believed that existence is reasonable. Since this skill exists, it must have its strengths. It's just that he hasn't discovered it yet. Perhaps its power will be revealed in the future. It's not just some professions that become stronger in the later stages, some skills are also like that. With the talent bonus, the skeleton berserker's 4-dimensional attributes had reached 312,000, and just one of these attributes was comparable to a lord-level boss of the same level. If the 4-dimensional attributes were added together, even a world boss would be far inferior to the skeleton berserker. Nuo Li Jiao, if one day, the skeleton berserker's vitality increased, they would be existences even stronger than world-class bosses. Lin Moyu even fantasized that if he reached the god level one day, would the skeletons also be able to reach the god level? What a scene it would be if he rushed out with an undead army of hundreds of thousands, millions, or even tens of millions of god-level beings. Quantitative change leads to qualitative change, and even when facing a transcendent god, Lin Moyu would have a bit of confidence. After using up all the uses of the 3 advanced cooling amulets, Lin Moyu leveled up again right under everyone's noses. He used his actions to tell others that he was really soloing, not playing extravagantly. Lin Moyu also used his actions to tell the world that this dungeon couldn't be soloed not because it was impossible but because they were not capable enough. This was a slap in the face to all the doubters. Finally, he checked his level again. Level 56 13%. After level 56, each time I can only level up 1.3%. The teleportation stone in his hand activated, and with a flash of light, Lin Moyu disappeared from the spot. At this moment, a ray of light flashed in the air, landing in a certain space. Lin Moyu, who was teleporting, immediately sensed something was wrong. I've been waiting for you for a long time. You finally moved. The corners of his mouth raised slightly. The enemy hiding in the dark finally made a move. Chapter 526. Do you know the significance of a 3-star god general? Lin Moyu found himself in a world of wind and snow. The snowflakes here were as big as palms. The snowflakes danced in the air with the wind, floating gently without any force, but when they hit his body, the bone armor sparkled. Lin Moyu knew that this was a pure elemental attack. Not a skill of any professional, but pure elements. Lin Moyu had personally touched similar pure elements before. God. This is a god's elemental world. Every god is the ultimate expression of elements. They control a certain element and become the master of the element. Although there is only one god position for the same element, there can be multiple gods who control the same element. Just like the water god who controls the water element, it possesses the water god position and is the highest controller of the water element in this world. But this doesn't mean that no other gods can use the water element. And those gods who also use the water element will lose their control over the water element when they encounter the water god. This is the crushing of the god position. And gods can create their own elemental worlds. In the elemental world, their strength can be brought to the extreme. Lin Moyu had now entered the elemental world belonging to a god who controlled the water element. No matter how the shape of the water element changed, whether it turned into ice or snowflakes, it was still water element in the end. Lin Moyu didn't panic. He had many trump cards, so he wasn't worried at all if a fight broke out. Which god brought this god general into the elemental world? What's the matter? Lin Moyu was neither humble nor arrogant. He pointed out his identity as a god general and placed his 3-star god general badge on his shoulder. The 3-star god general badge represented that Lin Moyu had killed at least 3 god-level existences. Lin Moyu believed that doing so would definitely put a lot of pressure on the other party. Sure enough, after taking out the 3-star god general badge, the howling wind and snow suddenly stopped. A snow-white figure appeared 100 meters away from Lin Moyu. It was about 10 meters tall, snow-white all over, exuding a pure elemental aura, and also releasing a god's aura. Lin Moyu was seeing a living god for the first time, and he felt a little curious. At the same time, he was slightly relieved. This was just a level 90 god. It should be said that it had only become a god not long ago, and the aura on its body was not very stable. The growth of gods is different from that of humans and demons. Their growth is very slow. It often takes decades or even hundreds of years. Lin Moyu now understood a lot of information about gods, and he judged from the aura that the other party should be a new god who had become a god for less than 10 years. What should I call you? Lin Moyu asked, although the other party had attacked him with wind and snow, revealing a hint of hostility. So Lin Moyu's attitude was not as friendly as before, but he hadn't directly attacked yet. He wasn't timid, but he would avoid war with gods if possible. Although he wasn't afraid, the price wouldn't be too small. You can call me Kunlun Snow God. The other party's voice slowly sounded, with a cold tone. Gods, names are relatively arbitrary. It became a god in the Kunlun Mountains, and it was best at controlling wind and snow. So it was called Kunlun Snow God. Lin Moyu nodded. My name is Lin Moyu, a 3-star god general of the Divine Summer Empire. Kunlun Snow God, you stopped my teleportation, brought me into the elemental world, and attacked me with wind and snow. Please give me an explanation. A pair of silver eyes appeared on the Kunlun Snow God's snow-white face. Elements were also flowing in the eyes. It looked at Lin Moyu, hand over the god position, and this god will let you go. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. He did have 2 god positions with him, one was the god position of the god of poison, and the other was the god position of the god of lightning. When the Kunlun Snow God said this, Lin Moyu knew that today's matter could not be settled peacefully. The attraction of a god position to a god is like a mythic-level weapon placed in front of a god-level powerhouse. Back then, for the god position of the god of life, even an entire world was destroyed. The god of life is a high-level god. If a god can obtain its god position, it is very likely to become the new god of life. Elements. For gods, elements are not impossible to convert. Although the process is extremely complex and long, and may take hundreds of years. But no god can refuse the temptation of a higher-level god position. 41. For a new god who had just reached level 90, obtaining the position of a mid-level god was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The Kunlun Snow God would naturally not let it go. How did you know I had a god position? The god position was always hidden in the mental world, and Lin Moyu didn't know how the other party saw it. If he couldn't figure this out, there would probably be problems in the future. The Kunlun Snow God looked at Lin Moyu but didn't answer. Lin Moyu knew he wouldn't get an answer from it. He looked the Kunlun Snow God up and down, observing its slender shape and pure white appearance. Coupled with its name, Lin Moyu smiled slightly, already having an answer in his mind. The Kunlun Snow God spoke again, hand over the god position, and I'll let you leave. What if I don't? Lin Moyu knew that there was no possibility of negotiation, and his attitude suddenly became tough. The wind and snow howled again, and the Kunlun Snow God's body flashed with white light, filled with killing intent. If you don't hand it over, I'll kill you. Lin Moyu shook his head in disdain. Aren't you afraid that the human race's god-level experts will come after you to settle the score? Killing a god general was a major event. Then Lin Moyu's expression suddenly changed. Besides, do you think you can kill me? Have you ever wondered how this god general's 3-star god general badge came to be? The Kunlun Snow God was stunned for a moment. It only knew the status of the god general, but it didn't know how this god general came to be. Lin Moyu knew it didn't understand from its expression. But it didn't matter. Now Lin Moyu had already developed murderous intent. The undead army appeared, rushing towards the Kunlun Snow God with murderous aura. A large amount of light appeared on the undead army, and the Lich generals instantly added buffs. Faced with the undead army rushing like a sea wave, the Kunlun Snow God revealed disdain. Wind and snow freeze. It snorted coldly, and dense snowflakes fell on the undead army, freezing the world into ice. All the undead army was frozen, even the Lich generals were no exception. Its level was too high, and the level of the ice skill was too high. The Lich general's skills couldn't remove the frozen state. The undead army, which had been aggressive the previous second, was instantly silenced. Only Lin Moyu was not frozen. He had a passive skill that could immunize all states. The Kunlun Snow God didn't care about these. It rushed towards Lin Moyu with a grin. In this deity's world of wind and snow, this deity is invincible. Almost in the blink of an eye, it had already arrived in front of Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't panic at all, but instead revealed a smile. Not necessarily. The Kunlun Snow God suddenly had a creepy feeling. It felt that something was wrong. A small flame sprang out from behind Lin Moyu, and then a flame lich appeared beside Lin Moyu. The moment the flame lich appeared, it pounced on the Kunlun snow god. Flames actually started burning on the Kunlun snow god. The Kunlun snow god's ice was completely ineffective on it. At the same time, halos appeared under the feet of the undead army, the ice and snow melted, and the undead army regained its freedom. Lin Moyu had already retreated when the flame lich attacked. Not only was he retreating, but all the undead army was also retreating quickly after breaking free from the ice. The flame lich hugged the Kunlun snow god tightly and wouldn't let go. The Kunlun snow god was extremely angry and roared repeatedly, "What is this thing? What is this thing?" Boom! In the loud noise, flames exploded all over the sky. The Kunlun snow god let out a scream, and the world of wind and snow suddenly shook violently. The flame lich was also a pseudo-god's full-strength attack, although not as good as the Kunlun snow god, it was enough to injure it. Lin Moyu didn't expect that one flame lich's self-explosion could kill this genuine god. What Lin Moyu wanted was to break its elemental world first. In the elemental world, its strength was indeed very strong. Before the explosion ended, the second flame lich appeared. If it weren't because this was the territory of the Shengxia kingdom, and Lin Moyu wasn't sure of the specific location outside the elemental world, he would have directly used the poison lich to kill it. If the outside of the elemental world happened to be a city, and the poison spread, there would be countless casualties. The second flame lich rushed into the unextinguished fire. Lin Moyu's mental power was always locked on the Kunlun snow god, knowing its exact location. The Kunlun snow god hadn't recovered from the first self-explosion, and the second flame lich arrived as scheduled. No! In the sharp cry, the flame lich exploded. The ice and snow world made a cracking sound and exploded. The professionals in the Kunlun mountains saw a ball of fire suddenly explode in the air, illuminating thousands of miles. What is this? What happened? So many skeletons, how can there be so many skeletons? Who is that person? I know, this is God General Lin and his undead army. Is God General Lin fighting with someone? Chapter 527, Those Who Listen Survive. The fire swept through the Kunlun mountains. For dozens of miles around, it was like entering the third month of spring, and large areas of ice and snow melted. A fire burst out in the air again, another fierce explosion. At the same time, Lin Moyu's voice resounded through the Kunlun mountains. Transmit the God General's order, everyone, retreat 100 miles. Lin Moyu's voice carried supreme majesty. The 3 words of the God General's order represented his identity and the weight of this sentence. No one in the Shengxia Empire dared to disobey. Obey the God General's order. In the loud shouts, everyone quickly moved away. Only some people didn't move, they were not from the Shengxia Empire, and they could ignore the Shengxia Empire's God General's order. Lin Moyu also ignored those who were not from the Shengxia Empire, or those who didn't obey the order. They would bear the consequences of their own life and death. Another explosion, a large number of fireballs fell from the sky like rain, smashing on the ground, and the snow was flying. The Kunlun snow god was covered in flames, turned into a huge fireball and rushed towards Lin Moyu, screaming sharply, "This god will crush your bones to ashes." Lin Moyu's eyes showed disdain, "Just you? Not enough." At this time, he was under the mountains, below was a large area of virgin forest. There were many monsters, and a few professionals. It was still hundreds of kilometers away from the city. Since that was the case, Lin Moyu had no scruples. The God General's order had already been issued, and if they hadn't listened and left, then it was their fate. Facing the Kunlun snow god rushing towards him, the runes on the back of Lin Moyu's hands glowed at the same time. Strengthen Army. 42. A Power Convergenza. 2 major Source Runea skills are activated simultaneously. Lin Mo's attributes instantly soared to the extreme, and the combat power of the Undead Legion also reached its peak at this moment. Against gods, these attribute combat power boosts don't have much effect. Even hindering them is difficult to achieve. But what Lin Mo needed wasn't hindrance, but for himself and the Undead Legion to withstand the gods for a little longer, even if it was just a few more seconds. The difference between life and death only takes a few seconds. 4 consecutive self-destructions of the flame liches caused not so significant damage to the Kunlun snow god, destroying the elemental world it had created. Most importantly, it made it angry and lose its mind. The outcome of everything was within Lin Mo's calculations. As Lin Mo watched, it indeed rushed over without regard for the consequences. The howling wind and snow extinguished the flames on its body. After self-detonation, the flame lich lost its pseudo-god level power and was forcefully grabbed by the Kunlun snow god. The flames on the flame lich's body quickly died out, and it was about to be frozen. The Kunlun snow god slapped out with its other hand, and a giant palm suddenly appeared in the air, striking towards Lin Mo. This palm had already locked onto Lin Mo. Under the pure water element's ice and snow power, there was no way to avoid it. Lin Mo didn't even think about avoiding it. At this moment, all of his attributes had reached 1,000,000. Coupled with damage transfer, Lin Mo was confident in taking this palm. That's right, one of Lin Mo's purposes in using the two Source Runea skills was to block an attack from the Kunlun snow god, and once was enough. Boom! Lin Mo was sent flying, falling like a meteor. The professionals in the Kunlun mountains exclaimed when they saw this scene. They finally knew who Lin Mo was fighting against. It was a god, a true god. Almost everyone was seeing a god for the first time, but almost everyone knew how powerful gods were. They were existences that could contend with god-level powerhouses. Watching Lin Mo being sent flying, everyone was worried for Lin Mo. Amidst the ice and snow, a green light suddenly lit up. At the location where Lin Mo had stood, a lich filled with green gas appeared. Lin Mo was sent flying, but in the instant before being hit, he used the blood essence of the god of poison to summon the poison lich, which only emerged now. At the same time as the poison lich appeared, the flame lich held in the Kunlun snow god's palm instantly dissipated. Lin Mo replaced the flame lich with the poison lich. And at this moment, the Kunlun snow god happened to rush to the position where Lin Mo had originally stood. It was very close to the poison lich. Upon seeing the poison lich, the Kunlun snow god's expression changed drastically, and it retreated frantically. But then it suddenly paused, its entire body covered by a layer of white bones. Skill: Bone Prison. Although with Lin Mo's level, using Bone Prison to restrict the Kunlun snow god, even with 1,000,000 points in mental power, the restriction time wouldn't exceed 0.1 seconds. But this pause, this 0.1 seconds, was enough to determine life and death. The second purpose of using the Source Runea skill was to increase the success rate of the Bone Prison skill. Lin Mo's thinking was correct. The strength of mental power could indeed affect the success rate of the Bone Prison skill. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to restrict a god equivalent to level 90, not even for 0.1 seconds. In that 0.1 seconds, the poison lich had already pounced on it, grabbing it firmly. No! Amidst the Kunlun snow god's terrified screams, the poison lich silently exploded. Terrifying poisonous gas erupted, and the Kunlun snow god struggled frantically in the poisonous gas. It rushed out of the poisonous gas, flying towards the distance, streaked with green lines. The gale howled, and the ice and snow of the entire Kunlun mountain swept and danced. During the escape, people saw with their own eyes that its body was rotting and melting. The toxicity was too strong, and once it was touched, it couldn't be shaken off. Even a god couldn't resist the poison, which was terrifying. Everyone understood why Lin Mo had asked them to retreat 100 kilometers. If they hadn't retreated, if they were contaminated by the poison, they would surely die. Those who hadn't retreated at the beginning now regretted it, but it was too late. The gale quickly carried the poisonous gas over, covering the sky and earth within a radius of more than 10 kilometers. This area had become a forbidden zone. These people quickly died under the poison, their corpses reduced to nothing. They couldn't even let out a scream before dying. Lin Mo flew in the poisonous gas, following the Kunlun snow god. This scene stunned everyone. Lin Mo was able to move freely and unharmed in the poison that could poison even a god. God General Lin is too strong. Seeking fresh flowers. I've long heard that God General Lin has poison type skills. I didn't expect God General Lin's poison type skills to be so powerful. After today, no one will dare to doubt God General Lin's strength. Well deserved. Everyone was sighing, everyone was shocked. They believed that after this matter spread, the whole world would be shocked. The Kunlun snow god flew slower and slower, and finally stopped after flying more than 10 kilometers. Only half of its body remained, and it knew it was doomed. At this time, it finally calmed down, no longer mad, but looked at Lin Mo and asked, "Can you tell me, what is the meaning of a 3-star god general?" Lin Mo kept a distance of nearly 1,000 meters from it and said lightly, "It means I have slaughtered 3 god-level existences." After hearing this, the Kunlun snow god was stunned for a second, and then let out a mad laugh. So that's how it is, so that's how it is. No wonder you're not afraid of me. It turns out you've slaughtered 3 god levels. I'm going to die, and you're about to slaughter the 4th god level. 0. But as a god, even if I die, I must die with dignity. As soon as the words fell, its remnant body suddenly began to turn brilliant. Above its head, a prismatic gemstone appeared, and above the gemstone, there was a faint Kunlun snow herb. Godhead. Lin Mo was shocked and quickly retreated. At the same time, the undead lich was summoned by him. His urgent voice came out, "Everyone, retreat, the farther the better." But it was too late, and his voice couldn't travel far enough. The entire Kunlun Mountains began to shake. The snow that had accumulated in the Kunlun Mountains for who knows how many years was now flying backwards, and a violent ice and snow storm suddenly formed. Then, with a loud bang, the ice and snow exploded, and the storm swept across the sky and earth. The Kunlun snow god self-destructed its divine body, self-destructed its godhead, and self-destructed its main body. All that it had as a god was displayed in the form of self-destruction at this moment. The terrifying power crashed into Lin Mo. Lin Mo was knocked away like a meteor, and the huge force knocked him hundreds of kilometers away. The power of a god's self-destruction was too powerful. The undead legion completely collapsed the moment Lin Mo was knocked away, and then was spared death under the effect of the undying aura. Lin Mo also survived because of this. Fortunately, the attack from the self-destruction was only one wave. 43. Lin Mo was incredibly relieved in his heart. If there had been a second wave of attacks, he estimated he would have been in danger. Flying back with relief, at the place where the Kunlun snow god self-destructed, a huge hole appeared in the white earth. The mountains here were gone, erased by the enormous power. Even the poisonous gas spread in the air was wiped out. What a pity, at least 90 billion experience. The Kunlun snow god died by self-destruction, Lin Mo didn't gain any benefits. Not only no experience, the sergeant badge didn't react either. Lin Mo looked around. Fortunately, the people from before had moved far away, and no one died because of the self-destruction. Those who listened to him survived, those who didn't listen all died. Chapter 528. Whoever dares to complain, gets a punch in the face. On the way back, Lin Mo analyzed the entire course of events in his mind. Lin Mo had guessed from the beginning how the Kunlun snow god knew he possessed a divine seat. The problem stemmed from the Kunlun snow herb. The Kunlun Divine Palace dungeon, clearing its solo within the specified time, would grant an additional special reward. Since the dungeon's creation, it's estimated that no one had ever completed it. However, the Kunlun snow herb had always existed. Day after day, year after year. That Kunlun snow herb grew stronger and stronger, eventually successfully mastering the power of wind and snow, becoming a water element deity. The snow herb phantom that appeared above its divine spark when it self-destructed just now confirmed Lin Mo's guess. Because it's a deity transformed from the Kunlun snow herb, it can be said that all the newly born Kunlun snow herbs later on are its descendants. When I obtained the Kunlun snow herb, the aura of the divine seat in my body was sensed by it. That's why it sought me out, but it couldn't act in the dungeon, and my stay outside the dungeon was too short. It waited until I was about to return before pulling me into the elemental world. Lin Mo muttered to himself, a slight smile on his lips. Although he didn't gain any benefits, this battle made him extremely comfortable. He had truly slaughtered a deity with his own hands, not a dying one, but a truly living deity. That feeling was indescribable. It's a pity, that guy was a bit of an idiot. If he had been a little smarter, he probably wouldn't have come looking for trouble with me. Is someone who can obtain a divine seat easy to bully? In the Bai Shen courtyard, Bai Yiyuan was drinking tea. Meng Anwen was not there. Recently, Meng Anwen had become a very busy person. He had to set up the Soul Fusion Array, traveling all over the country. This array was extremely complex and required arrangements to be made in many places. At the same time, Meng Anwen used the power of the military, coupled with the full support of Dongfang Yi. The arrangement was going smoothly. According to Meng Anwen's calculations, it would take about a month to complete the arrangement. Meng Anwen was a little excited when he could study the Soul Fusion Array. This was a super array he had never accepted before. Not only did the array level reach the divine level, but the scale was also unprecedented. The arrays he had set up before were at most covering a city. But this array was to cover a country, thousands of cities. It was an unprecedented challenge for him. Meng Anwen had said before he left that if he succeeded, he would definitely be promoted to level 96 and become an advanced divine level array master. In the recorded history of the human race, only one advanced divine level array master had ever appeared. That was the one who sealed the corpse world, but he also died after sealing the corpse world. The array that sealed the corpse world was what he exchanged with his life. Since then, no advanced divine level array master had ever appeared among the human race, and even divine level array masters rarely appeared. Lin Mo was also happy for Meng Anwen's hoped breakthrough. Feeling the spatial fluctuations, Bai Yiyuan smiled slightly and said lazily, "Xiao Yu, come over and pour tea for your teacher." Lin Mo went directly over to pour tea for Bai Yiyuan and handed it to Bai Yiyuan with both hands. "Teacher, please." Bai Yiyuan looked at Lin Mo and frowned slightly. "You encountered a deity?" "Yes, I encountered a level 90 deity." He poured himself a cup. The tea fragrance was clear and quiet, just right to soothe the breath after the great battle. Bai Yiyuan asked, "And then?" Lin Mo said casually, "It wanted to kill me, and then I killed it." Bai Yiyuan was stunned for a moment. "How did you kill it?" "Deities are not easy to kill." Lin Mo told the whole process. When he heard about the Kunlun snow god's self-destruction, Bai Yiyuan's eyebrows couldn't help but twitch a few times. A deity's self-destruction, even he might be a little injured. Lin Mo was unscathed. He even suspected that he had underestimated his good disciple. Lin Mo said, "I originally thought of bothering you to clear the poisonous gas, but now it's not necessary. It's just that, in the process of my fight with the Kunlun snow god, some guys were implicated and died. Several of them are from our divine Xia Empire, and several are from other countries." Bai Yiyuan waved his hand dismissively. "Those who don't listen to the divine general's orders died, they don't deserve sympathy. As for the people from other countries, they died within the territory of my divine Xia Empire, they asked for it themselves. Which country dares to jump out and complain, I'll punch them back." This style, very Bai Yiyuan. Lin Mo took out the Kunlun snow herb he had just obtained. "Teacher, take a look at this thing." Bai Yiyuan glanced at it, and the detection skill swept over it, and suddenly showed surprise. "Good thing, how did you get it?" "I solo cleared the Kunlun Divine Palace and got an excellent rating, and then it gave me this extra reward." Listening to Lin Mo's answer, Bai Yiyuan was deeply touched. He knew Lin Mo's almost perverted combat power, which could completely crush the same level dungeon. Especially after the level is high, even the most difficult dungeon is like playing for Lin Mo. It is not surprising that Lin Mo can get extra rewards. Bai Yiyuan said, "You keep this thing safe, and ask Lao Meng when he comes back, he knows a little more about some things. But this time Lao Meng is afraid that he will be busy for a long time. I don't know if he will go to the matchmaking conference. Those old lovers of Lao Meng, I'm afraid they will be disappointed this time." Lin Mo was stunned. How could he still be chatting well, and suddenly the style changed? For no reason, he also mentioned Meng Anwen's old lovers. Bai Yiyuan said mysteriously, "You don't know, Lao Meng has a super lot of lovers. If that guy has a bad idea one day, your kid will have at least 18 Xiniang's martial aunts." The corners of Lin Mo's mouth twitched slightly. "Teacher Bai, it's not good to speak ill of Teacher Meng behind his back." Bai Yiyuan cut a sound. "What's the matter? I also say this in front of him." Lin Mo asked softly, "Then Teacher Bai, do you have someone you like?" Bai Yiyuan's eyes first flashed with a brilliant light, and then became dim. He sighed softly, closed his eyes and stopped talking. In the moment of the change in his eyes just now, Lin Mo saw a touch of sadness. Lin Mo was also very sensible and stopped talking, knowing that he had asked a question he shouldn't have asked. The Divine Stone Dungeon Trial, also known as the Matchmaking Conference in Bai Yiyuan and Meng Anwen's mouth, will begin in 3 days. However, as early as 10 days ago, people from various families, forces, and even top universities had arrived. 44. Fortress number 4 became extremely lively. Young people communicated and talked with each other. The military also specially set up several arenas for competition in the fortress for everyone to learn from each other. Young people often have arguments and even quarrels. The arena can solve this problem. As long as they are not beaten to death, professionals can heal from minor injuries. Here are geniuses from various families, proud and beautiful young men and women. Some caught each other's eyes, while others came together under the matchmaking of their elders at home. The older generation who came with them all had smiles on their faces, acting as matchmakers. Bai Yiyuan pointed to the young people coming and going. "I was right, wasn't I?" In just a few days, look how many people have paired up. Lin Mogu murmured with a slight smile, looking around, and sent a message to Ning Yi. There was no answer. Yi hasn't come yet. Bai Yiyuan sneered, you only have Ning Yi in your eyes, there are so many beauties in the world, why don't you pick a few more? Lin Mogu was stunned, not knowing why Bai Yiyuan said this. Bai Yiyuan continued, what I mean is, although the empire's rules are one husband and one wife, god generals and god-level experts have privileges, it's okay to marry a few more. Like your teacher Meng, if he wanted to marry, at least 17 or 8 beauties would line up to come to his door. Bai Yiyuan began to speak without restraint again. Lin Mogu could only smile and not respond. Bai Yiyuan continued, Ning Yi should be here tomorrow or the day after, you can stroll around the fortress first, most of the people here are young people, you can all communicate more. Just as Lin Mogu was about to speak, a charming voice suddenly sounded in his ear. Yiyuan. The voice was soft and charming, with a hint of heroism, very pleasant to hear. After hearing this voice, Bai Yiyuan suddenly looked like a cat whose fur had exploded. Xiao Yu, your teacher has something to do and will take a step first, see you in 3 days. With a whoosh, he shot straight into the sky and left. Then Lin Mogu saw a woman in a light yellow dress rushing over quickly. The woman looked only in her early 30s, with extremely beautiful looks and an extraordinary temperament. Seeing Bai Yiyuan fleeing in a hurry, the woman shouted sweetly shout, and the whole person also rose into the sky, her speed no slower than Bai Yiyuan's. This is also a god-level expert, not much weaker than Bai Yiyuan. Moreover, Bai Yiyuan was clearly avoiding the other party. Teacher Bai is afraid of her. Lin Mogu's eyes were smiling, as if he had discovered a new continent, a little funny. Chapter 529 Good fellow, here comes another one. Bai Yiyuan escaped. In a panic, Lin Mogu was dumbfounded, finds something both laughable and annoying. It really is karma, he was still mocking Meng Yanwen behind his back just now, and now it has suddenly fallen on himself. It seems Teacher Bai's story is not simple either. Lin Mogu had a smile on his face, thinking about the story that might have happened to Bai Yiyuan. Walking in the fortress, mingling into the crowd. The 3 arenas in the fortress were shining brightly, and formations covered the arenas. Duels were taking place on the arenas. A knight and an archer were facing off on the arena. The arena was not big enough, which was not very advantageous for the archer. However, the archer was very flexible, constantly counter-attacking while dodging the knight's pursuit. The knight ignored everything and chased and killed with his head down, simple and violent. There were many people watching under the arena, pointing at the people on the arena, talking a lot. Lin Mogu knew what was going on after listening to a few sentences. The archer on the stage came from the Zhang family in the northwest of the empire. He advocated that even in a limited space, archers can beat up all melee professions by using their own flexible advantages and long-range attack advantages. His words caused dissatisfaction among others, and the Wang family knight from the southwest immediately jumped out. The two sides debated for a while, but there was no answer. In the end, it was decided to go to the arena to fight and see. It just so happened that the levels of the two were not much different, and it just so happened that they could verify each other's words. The situation on the other 2 arenas was similar, and they were all learning from each other because of some conflicting opinions. Lin Mogu lost interest after just a few glances. The battle on the arena was no different from children playing house in his eyes. Too weak. Every battle he had experienced, the enemies he faced, were many times stronger than them. Lin idiot. Turning to leave the arena area, a familiar voice suddenly sounded in his ear. A little smile appeared in Lin Mogu's eyes. There were only a few people who would call him Lin idiot. Turning his head, he saw Xia Shui, and Feng Shu and Zuo Mei were beside her. Seeing Lin Mogu, the 3 of them walked over quickly, and Xia Shui said cheerfully, sure enough it's you, I knew I didn't see it wrong. Long time no see. Lin Mogu greeted the 3 of them. It had indeed been a while since he had seen the 3 of them, and seeing them now, Lin Mogu was slightly surprised. Zuo Mei and Xia Shui's aura had become different from before. And the level, Xia Shui and Zuo Mei's levels had greatly increased, both of them surpassing level 35. How long has it been? The 2 of them have leveled up more than a dozen levels in a row. Their level is far ahead of the students who entered Shajing Academy in the same year, and even the students of the previous year are not as good as them. On the contrary, although Feng Shu has also leveled up several levels, He is currently only level 30, which is a little worse than the two of them. Lin Mogu guessed that something must have happened to the two of them. Sha Shui asked strangely, with your identity and strength, do you still need to strategize the Godstone dungeon? Lin Mogu said softly, I am here as a guest. Zuo Mei said, fortunately, otherwise we would have no chance. With Lin Mogu's strength, let alone them, even the older generation may not be able to beat him. If Lin Mogu participated in the Godstone dungeon, then there would be nothing for them. Sha Shui also laughed happily, that's right, if Lin Idiot also goes to fight the dungeon, we can give up. Feng Shu also said softly, the Godstone dungeon is a special single-player dungeon, the difficulty of the dungeon faced by each person is based on their own level. The advantage of level is not obvious in the dungeon, but... He glanced at Lin Mogu, but, with Lin God General's combat power, if he participated in the dungeon, we really have no meaning to participate. Lin Mogu smiled slightly, I won't participate, you guys work hard to win the final reward in the dungeon. Sha Shui laughed, that's half a piece of talent Godstone, there is a 1/3 probability of awakening talent during the third evolution. The four of them walked and chatted, and unknowingly came to another area of the fortress. This place has a clear commercial atmosphere, with many restaurants and hotels, most of which are specially prepared for this Godstone conference. The four of them chose a restaurant and selected a seat by the window. Sha Shui whispered, Lin Idiot, do you think my and Zuo Mei's leveling speed is particularly fast? Lin Mogu did have this question. Sha Shui smiled, I went back to my family and activated the bloodline, my strength is much higher than before. Lin Mogu knew that Sha Shui was Sha Bojian's granddaughter, in fact, Sha Shui was a member of the Sha family. The Sha family of Shajing, although not as good as the Ning family, is also a long-established old brand family. It is normal to have some background. Just like Ning Yi, in constant special training, single-minded, leveling up will be faster. 45. What Lin Moryu couldn't understand the most was Zuo Mei, why Zuo Mei could be promoted so quickly. Sha Shui spoke for Zuo Mei, you don't know, Zuo Mei is a descendant of the legendary Zuo family. Legendary Zuo family. Lin Moryu's mind immediately reflected the information about this family. In the history of the human race, there have been many families, some of which have existed for thousands of years, and some only for decades. The Zuo family is a family that has existed for more than 500 years, and its strength ranks among the top families. The Zuo family is a well-known assassin family, and almost all Zuo family members are rogues. They have brought the assassin profession to the extreme, and can be said to be the pinnacle of the assassin profession. Moreover, the bloodline of this family has a characteristic that once activated, every job change will inevitably lead to professional sublimation. In each generation of the family, several high-level legendary professionals can appear, and god-level powerhouses continue to emerge. They assassinated demon kings, attacked and killed demons, and made brilliant achievements. They have created one legendary record after another. The name of the legendary Zuo family also comes from this. Some people even predict that as long as a god-level powerhouse in the Zuo family can reach the point of being half a step beyond the god level, then they will have the ability to assassinate the demon emperor. At that time, the Zuo family also became a thorn in the side of the demon kings. Dozens of years ago, the demons launched an attack on the Zuo family. The demons first launched an attack in the Yuan battlefield, attracting the two god-level powerhouses of the Zuo family. A large number of demon kings surrounded and killed them. The demon worship society went all out to slaughter the Zuo family, and also summoned the demon king's clone. The Zuo family was almost completely wiped out overnight. Not many people know about this, and Lin Moryu also saw it in a large amount of information. Lin Moryu looked at Zuo Mei, I didn't expect that you are actually from the Zuo family. Zuo Mei nodded, Senior Sha took me back to the family. Although there is no one in the family's inheritance is still there. Lin Moryu nodded, the former Zuo family was very powerful and glorious. It is precisely because of this that the Demon King was afraid. Since you have inherited the bloodline of the Zuo family, then you must be careful in the future. Feng Shu whispered, very few people know about this. It will not be revealed before Zuo Mei has the ability to protect herself. Lin Moryu said, if there is anything I can do, please feel free to ask. The sages of the Zuo family have made too many contributions to the human race, and Lin Moryu admires these seniors very much. Zuo Mei said, thank you, Divine General Lin. Lin Moryu shook his head, we are friends. Sha Shui smiled playfully, that's right, we are friends, don't call me Divine General Lin, it seems so estranged. A burst of footsteps sounded, and a large group of people went upstairs. A fragrant aroma wafted over, and all the people who came up were women. The leader was Jia Lan Yeyu. She saw Lin Moryu at a glance and exclaimed, you're not dead. Immediately afterwards, a figure rushed over with a fragrant breeze. Before the others could react, the person had already pounced on Lin Moryu, hugging Lin Moryu tightly. You're not dead, that's great, you're still alive. Mu Qianqun said while crying, tears kept falling, and her whole body was sobbing. Sha Shui and the other three looked at this scene, their eyes filled with blazing gossip. They had seen Ning Yi before, so what's going on with this beauty now? Mu Qianqun was too excited and didn't pay attention to the occasion at all. She had been worried about Lin Moryu. Now that she saw that Lin Moryu was not dead, she couldn't control her emotions for a while. Lin Moryu patted Mu Qianqun gently, of course I won't die. If you keep hugging me, I might be strangled to death. Mu Qianqun then exclaimed and shrank back. She realized that her behavior seemed a little out of line, and her little face was as red as an apple. At this moment, a white light descended from the sky, and the holy light illuminated the restaurant. Lin Moryu, long time no see. Mo Yun was sitting on the Holy Spirit unicorn, landed by the window, and was greeting Lin Moryu. Sha Shui whispered, good fellow, here comes another one. Zhu Omei and Feng Shu nodded at the same time. At this time, someone else came upstairs, saw Lin Moryu by the window, and called sweetly, Junior Lin. Chapter 530. Again and again, a little punishment and a big warning. Coincidences are always everywhere. Just like today, Lin Moryu didn't expect it to be such a coincidence. Not only did he meet Sha Shui and the other three, but he also met Mu Qianqun, Jia Lan Yeyu and her Night Rain Knights. Then Mo Yun also came, and finally Shu Han came. Shu Han came with Dongfang Yao. The fire of gossip in the eyes of Sha Shui and the other three has already begun to rage. However, Lin Moryu acted upright and sat upright, and didn't care at all. Mo Yun stopped by the window and whispered, Lin Moryu, find me when you have time. Saying that, she threw a positioning teleportation stone to Lin Moryu, and then left on the unicorn. Lin Moryu knew that Mo Yun really had something to do. Otherwise, with her personality, she would never take the initiative to find herself. Shu Han walked over with elegant steps, generously took Lin Moryu's arm, and her voice was 3 points sweeter than before, Junior Lin, so you are here, senior sister, I have been looking for you so hard. Shu Han's performance was very different from the past, and Lin Moryu almost suspected that she was possessed by a succubus. While speaking, Shu Han desperately winked at Lin Moryu. This also made Lin Moryu not break away her hand. Lin Moryu whispered, senior sister, is there any trouble? Shu Han brought her mouth to Lin Moryu's ear, help me act in a play, there is a guy the first hate very much. The heat sprayed on her ears, slightly itchy. Shu Han's pretty face flushed, and she tried her best to suppress her shyness. At this time, someone else came upstairs and happened to see Shu Han speaking in Lin Moryu's ear. In the eyes of outsiders, that look was like a couple whispering sweet nothings, very ambiguous. When the person who came saw this scene, a look of anger flashed in his eyes. Xiao Han, is he the person you like? Shu Han put on a matter-of-course look, of course, you can give up now, right? Lin Moryu looked at the person who came, who looked to be in his 30s and looked very handsome. Unfortunately, the gloom in his eyes became a very disharmonious note, making his temperament also appear a little gloomy. The man glanced at Lin Moryu, then looked at Shu Han and sneered, so you like pretty boys. Sha Shui burst out laughing, someone actually said that Lin Moryu was a pretty boy. Lin Moryu now knew what Shu Han wanted him to help her act. Originally, he was just a shield, but now, someone actually said that he was a pretty boy. A slightly dangerous aura was revealed in his eyes, and Lin Moryu said lightly, who are you? The man sneered, what are you worthy to know? The second time, Lin Moryu's eyes became more dangerous. Shu Han whispered in Lin Moryu's ear, he is the eldest son of the Shui family in southern Shaguang City, Shui Junji. 46. A profession. Frost Knight, a legendary class, level 68. A. Another such ambiguous scene fueled the fires of jealousy in Shui Junji. He clenched his fists, looking as if he was about to strike at any moment. Whoosh. With a flash of white light, Mu Shenxian summoned a massive war hammer, blocking it in front of Lin Mo and glaring at Shui Junji. As naive as she was, she didn't care about the other party's identity. If anyone dared to attack Lin Mo, she wouldn't be polite or soft-hearted. Even if she couldn't win, she would still put up a fight. Mu Shenxian was also very beautiful, not much less than Shu Han. Years of combat had given Mu Shenxian a heroic spirit that Shu Han lacked. Shui Jejun's gaze lingered on Mu Shenxian, revealing possessiveness. It seems quite a few people like gigolos. Before he could finish speaking, Shui Jejun only felt a blur before his eyes, and Lin Mo had already appeared in front of him. As a level 68 knight, he had extremely rich combat experience and reacted instantly. But reacting was one thing, being able to execute the corresponding actions was another. Before he could move, dense bones had already appeared on his body. Skill: Bone Prison. Bone Prison, when used against a professional like him, especially a single target, not only had a near 100% success rate, but also an astonishing control duration. If Shui Jejun couldn't break free from the controlled state, he wouldn't be able to move for at least half an hour. After controlling him, Lin Mo directly slapped him across the face. Smack! The sound of the slap was crisp and clear. After one slap, there were two more. Lin Mo said in a low voice, 3 slaps is a minor punishment and a warning. If you speak recklessly again, I will kill you. The murderous intent accompanied the words, landing in Shui Jejun's ears. Time and time again, a divine general cannot be humiliated. Shui Jejun was stunned by the 3 sudden slaps. He didn't care about what Lin Mo said afterward at all. He only felt that he had lost a lot of face. So many people in the restaurant saw him getting beaten, how could he save face? He roared in his heart, his whole body glowing blue. Knights all had skills to break free from control, and he was no exception. Bone Prison was impacted, but the next second, a flame silently floated into his mind. Shui Jejun opened his mouth wide, but couldn't make any sound. Bone Prison paralyzed his movements, preventing him from moving anything except his eyes. No matter how paralyzed he was, he couldn't stop the pain from his soul. Lin Mo's control over the soul flame had reached the point where he could do whatever he wanted, making it as strong or as weak as he pleased. A single soul flame interrupted Shui Jejun's skill, forcing him to stay trapped in place obediently. Shui Jejun didn't dare to move again. That kind of pain was too terrifying, and just one instance was unforgettable for life. Lin Mo acted as if he had done something insignificant. You stay here and reflect on your actions. Saying that, he walked towards the outside of the restaurant. Shu Han was faster than them, running directly to Lin Mo's side and hooking her arm around Lin Mo's. Is this acting the whole show? Lin Mo thought to himself, not refusing. Since he had agreed to Shu Han to act out this scene well, he naturally had to act until the finale. Wait for me. Mu Shenxian suddenly ran over as well, grabbing Lin Mo's other arm, and glared at Shu Han, her face full of dissatisfaction. Seeing Mu Shenxian's appearance, Shu Han knew that this little girl must have misunderstood. But she didn't say anything now. Lin Mo left the restaurant in such a way, with a beauty on each arm, under the envious gazes of everyone. Feng Shu muttered, why aren't we leaving? Xia Shui glared at him, why should we leave? We haven't finished eating yet. Zhuo Mei said coldly, are we going up to be light bulbs? Or have you taken a fancy to some girl? Feng Shu quickly shook his head and waved his hand, a diaresis a no, nothing, how could I? Eat, eat. In the restaurant, Shui Jejun was standing alone as punishment. The red palm prints on both sides of his face were so conspicuous. His skill had been interrupted, and he had to wait 10 minutes before he could use it again. During these 10 minutes, he could only become a statue, for people to admire. In the restaurant, the Night Rain Knights, led by Jia Lan Yeyu, more than 20 beautiful women, were constantly talking in low voices. No matter what they were saying, Shui Jejun felt like they were talking about him. Damn it, I must kill you, I want to tear you into pieces. And that bitch Shu Han, I won't let you go, absolutely not. Shui Jejun was anxious and resentful, he had deeply resented Lin Mo. From birth, he had never lost face like this. After leaving the restaurant, Shu Han suddenly retracted her hand, suppressing her shyness. Thank you, Junior Lin, for helping me act out this scene. Lin Mo shook his head, Senior, you don't have to be polite. It's my honor to be able to help you. Presumably after this, that Shui Jejun will only hate Senior, and won't bother Senior anymore. Shu Han smiled, hate is better than entanglement. Anyway, I'm not afraid of her, it's just annoying. Ah, Mu Shenxian suddenly withdrew her good money's hand with a gasp. Only now did she realize that the two of them were acting, and it was completely different from what she thought. And her performance just now. Shu Han had already returned to her usual elegance, this little sister doesn't need to be jealous of older sister. Mu Shenxian blushed, I'm not jealous. Shu Han could see Mu Shenxian's naivety, and didn't tease her too much. Junior Lin, are you here for the Godstone dungeon this time too? Lin Mo shook his head, I'm here as a guest, what about Senior Shu? Shu Han smiled bitterly, I was forced to come on a blind date, and as a result, I ran into this guy. He pesters me every day, and I can't refuse him, it's really annoying. Lin Mo understood, and smiled, in the future, if he comes to pester Senior again, tell me, and I'll break his hands and feet. Shu Han chuckled, okay, I'll remember what Senior said. Mo Yun was also looking for you just now, right? Lin Mo nodded, I don't know what's going on. What else could it be, the same thing as me. Go there when you have time, she's been very annoyed these days too. Shu Han said, and left with a charming smile. Lin Mo was a little dumbfounded, does his attribute have a shield item? Chapter 531. There is not one you can afford to offend. Mu Shenxian followed behind Lin Mo with her head lowered, like a child who had done something wrong. Mu Shenxian opened her mouth several times, wanting to explain, but she didn't know where to start. She felt that whatever she said would not be right. Lin Mo suddenly stopped. Mu Shenxian didn't pay attention for a moment, and bumped into Lin Mo, sticking to him. Lin Mo felt the warmth coming from behind, and chuckled softly, what are you thinking about? Mu Shenxian shook her head with a red face, nothing. Lin Mo said, where did you go after you teleported back that day? Mu Shenxian said, I seem to have experienced 2 teleports that day, and I was already outside the core area when I woke up. 47. Lin Mo judged the general course of events from Mu Shenxian's words alone. The scales given by Antares must have returned directly to Antares' side. But Antares didn't want to bother with Mu Shenxian, so he teleported her away again. So Mu Shenxian felt like she had experienced 2 teleports. Lin Mo smiled, and then you went to find Jialin Yeyu, how was it, did you see your own tombstone? Mu Shenxian nodded her head vigorously, I saw it. How did it feel? How did it feel? Mu Shenxian tilted her head, it felt strange, but it was also quite fun. Sister Yeyu's words are carved very beautifully, and the place is well chosen, so that the tombstone can exist for a longer time. Looking at her simple appearance, like a blank sheet of paper, Lin Mo felt it was really funny. Although Mu Shenxian was several years older than himself, in front of him, he was the elder, and Mu Shenxian was like a child. Let's go. Lin Mo 537 Yi turned around and walked forward. Mu Shenxian asked, where to? Let's find a place to have a good meal again. We were disturbed by that guy just now and couldn't eat well. Oh. A violent shout rang out in the restaurant, and Shui Jejun rushed out like a cannonball. He was like a mad lion, standing on the roof searching for Lin Mo's whereabouts, but he couldn't find him anywhere. The streets were crowded with people, and his movements attracted a lot of onlookers. He couldn't find Lin Mo, and angrily turned his head to look at Xia Shui and the others. He remembered correctly, Xia Shui and the others were with Lin Mo. Feng Shu said coldly, what are you looking at? Private fights are not allowed in the fortress. You don't want to do it, do you? Shui Jejun said coldly, kid, you better not leave the fortress if you have the ability. Feng Shu laughed, Shui family of Xiaoguang City, right? I'll tell my family about it. If something happens to me, it's your Shui family who did it. Remember, I'm from No. 8 Fortress, Sword God Feng family, Feng Shu. Xia Shui also said sweetly, this girl is from the Xia family of Xia Jing. If something happens to this girl, I will also find trouble with your Shui family. Zuo Mei didn't speak, she knew that she still had to keep a low profile at the moment. Shui Jejun was immediately choked, he couldn't afford to offend either of these 2 families. Feng Shu said coldly, think about what you said just now, it's your luck if you can save your life. If you dare to say that again next time, I guarantee no one can save you. Shui Jejun's chest heaved with anger, like a blower, huffing and puffing. His lungs were almost exploding with anger, and it took a long time to finally ease a little. His eyes became more and more cold, his killing intent awe-inspiring, and then he turned and left. Sha Shui whispered, "He won't go to find Lin idiot, will he?" Zhuo Mei sneered, "It's best if he goes to find him. This kind of idiot is not enough for Lin Shenjiang to slap to death with one palm." The two deeply agreed that with Lin Moi's strength, slap to death him was like slapping a fly. Moreover, with Lin Moi's identity, if he really wanted to kill someone, he didn't need to worry about the rules that he couldn't do anything in the fortress. He is a god general, with a lot of privileges. The teleportation stone turned into powder in Lin Moi's hands, and Lin Moi had already arrived on the land of the meta battlefield. Being in midair, the lightning undead wings spread out, and Lin Moi saw Mo Yun not far away. Mo Yun was entangled in battle with a demon. Mo Yun has now reached level 50, you can imagine how hard she has worked. Those of her age are only in their early 40s, and some have not even completed their second turn. But Mo Yun has already reached level 50. This is a child of a large family, hardworking, and hardworking again. Everyone thinks that the children of large families have resources and equipment, and it is 10 times easier to upgrade than ordinary people. But I don't know that these children of large families also have to pay a lot of blood and sweat. Ning Yi has been conducting special training for several months, almost without sleep. Almost every moment is spent in battle. This is one of the lives of the children of large families. Of course, there are also many rotten wastes. It is better not to mention this kind of people, they are completely not within Lin Moi's consideration. Lin Moi watched Mo Yun fighting with the demon, but did not do anything. This is Mo Yun's battle, let her solve it herself. This place is hundreds of kilometers away from No. 4 Fortress, and you can encounter many demon hunters. In a delicate shout, the horn on the head of the Holy Spirit unicorn emitted a holy light. The light pierced the demon's body like a sharp arrow, and then exploded, blasting the demon into pieces. Mo Yun wiped the fragrant sweat from her forehead, and flew over sitting on the Holy Spirit unicorn. "Are you free?" Lin Moi nodded, "Yes, what do you want me for?" Mo Yun said, "Help me clear a dungeon." It seems different from what Shu Han said. Lin Moi didn't think much, "Okay." Mo Yun said strangely, "Don't you ask what dungeon, what difficulty? Can you clear it?" Lin Moi shook his head, "No, as long as it is a dungeon that I can enter, I can clear it." These words were very arrogant. But Lin Moi has his capital. The fact is, as he said, as long as it is a dungeon that he can enter, he can clear it. No matter what the difficulty, no matter whether it is a small, medium or large dungeon, or even a super large dungeon, Lin Moi is confident that he can clear it. If even he can't clear it, then even a team of 40 or 60 people can't clear it. Mo Yun flew towards the dungeon, and Lin Moi followed beside her. Mo Yun said, "This dungeon is called Holy Marsh Space, a level 55 dungeon, which can be entered between levels 50 and 60. I want to clear the hell difficulty, but I don't want to team up with others, so I can only come to trouble you." Lin Moi nodded, "Okay, is there anything special about this dungeon?" Mo Yun said, "There is a holy light swamp at the deepest part of the dungeon, and the holy light inside is very helpful to my summoner beast. However, the boss in the dungeon will absorb all the holy light in the holy light swamp. If you want to get the holy light, you must destroy it before the boss absorbs all the holy light. I don't know if you can do it." Lin Moi thought for a while, "I can't guarantee it, but I will do my best." Mo Yun said in a low voice, "Thank you. You're welcome, we are friends, such a small thing." Lin Moi doesn't have many friends, Mo Yun is one of them. If you can help with a friend's matter, help as much as possible. The two flew hundreds of kilometers again. At this time, they had penetrated into the meta battlefield, thousands of kilometers away from No. 4 Fortress. This is a dark and empty land, full of the deathly silence of the meta battlefield. A dungeon entrance is quietly rotating on the earth. As the saying goes, when things reach their extreme, they will reverse. In this lifeless place, the dungeon entrance reveals a little vitality. From a distance, several teams of people are fighting with some demons. Mo Yun explained, because of the existence of the Holy Light Swamp dungeon, human race professional teams often come over. The demons also know this, so they often ambush here or on the way. So here, fighting is a frequent occurrence. This is no longer the territory of the human race, and demons appear here from time to time. Moreover, the demons here are all over level 50, appearing in groups. Mo Yun dares to move around here alone, which is considered extremely bold. 48. The two flew towards the dungeon. Near the dungeon, a team was fighting demons. It seemed that this team was very strong, crushing the demons effortlessly. Suddenly, someone from the team flew towards Mo Yun. Yuner, you're back. Mo Yun frowned. Ignore him, let's enter the dungeon. Okay, Lin Moi responded softly. He glanced at the person flying towards Mo Yun, also a summoner, about the same age as Mo Yun. His summoned beast was a golden eagle, very eye-catching. Whether it was intentional or coincidental, he blocked Mo Yun's path to the dungeon. Yuner, we've been waiting for you for a long time. The man shouted loudly again, calling her Yuner affectionately. Mo Yun's pretty face turned extremely unsightly, and she shouted, get out of the way. The sacred spirit unicorn glowed all over, its speed suddenly increased, and it crashed into him. Chapter 532. Miss Mo Yun, my foot. Mo Yun activated her skill, merging with the unicorn and transforming into a ball of blazing white light. At the forefront of the light ball, a sharp silver point appeared, the unicorn's horn. Skill. Sacred charge. Mo Yun clearly regarded the young man blocking the road as an enemy, crashing into him without regard. The young man's expression changed drastically, not daring to take it head-on, and he quickly steered the golden eagle beneath him to avoid it. Lin Moi also sped up at this moment, closely following Mo Yun as they charged forward. Just as they were about to rush into the dungeon, a golden light descended from the sky and landed in front of the dungeon entrance, blocking Mo Yun like a wall. Mo Yun's skill crashed into the golden light, shattering the golden light, and Mo Yun's skill also dissipated at the same time. Able to block Mo Yun's charge, it seems the skill's strength is not bad. Lin Moi evaluated in his heart, the opponent's skill had decent defensive power. Mo Yun's skill had considerable impact force, even stronger than a knight of the same level. But it was still blocked. The young man reappeared in sight, still blocking Mo Yun. Yuner, why are you ignoring me? Mo Yun's face was livid. Dan Feiying, if you call me Yuner one more time, I'll kill you. Then tell me, what will it take to give me a chance? Actually, we are really a good match. Dan Feiying had a very thick skin, but after hearing Mo Yun's murderous words, he wisely restrained himself. Mo Yun said coldly, impossible, get out of the way. Dan Feiying did not move. My team is already ready. If you want to go to the Holy Light Swamp to get the Holy Light, I can help you. Mo Yun gritted her teeth. I don't need your help. Dan Feiying said repeatedly, if I don't help you, you won't be able to defeat the boss alone, let alone get the Holy Light. That's my business, get out of the way. Mo Yun's murderous aura began to emerge again. Dan Feiying still did not move. Mo Yun, just let me help you, give me a chance, okay? Are you going to get out of the way or not? Mo Yun's body began to glow again, and the sacred spirit unicorn's energy was building up again. At this moment, several screams came from not far away. Dan Feiying's team had eliminated the demons and flew back one after another. All 7 who came were summoners, possessing different summoned beasts. But without exception, they were all flying summoned beasts. Now, there were even more people blocking Mo Yun's path. Dan Feiying was completely shameless. Anyway, if you don't give me a chance, I won't let you enter the dungeon. His posture was like that of a spoiled child. Mo Yun was so angry that her face turned livid. If it weren't for the fact that the Dan family in front of her had a good relationship with their family, she would have already taken action. Her temper was not that good, and her patience was not great either. Lin Moi finally couldn't help but chuckle from the side. This Dan Feiying was at least better than Shui Jejun, but his skin was really thick. Mo Yun said to Lin Moi, can we get through? Lin Moi smiled and nodded, yes, but what about these people? Do you want to kill them? Mo Yun shook her head, no need, they are all from the Dan family of Rivermouth City, and our Mo family has been friends for generations. Then Mo Yun changed the subject, if possible, you can make this guy suffer a bit. This guy's skin is too thick. Lin Moi understood Mo Yun's meaning, he couldn't kill them, but he couldn't let him have an easy time either. Okay, then let's go, hurry up. Lin Moi agreed readily, such a thing was not difficult for him. As he spoke, Lin Moi flew towards the dungeon. You are the helper Mo Yun found. Dan Feiying did not take Lin Moi seriously. Although he couldn't see Lin Moi's level, the highest level to enter the Holy Light Swamp dungeon was 60. Dan Feiying had already reached level 55, and with an 8-man summoning team, even if the other party was level 60, they would definitely not be their opponent. Lin Moi ignored Dan Feiying. Dan Feiying frowned, if you get any closer, don't blame me for being impolite. Lin Moi once again ignored his words. Dan Feiying felt that he had a lot of face, and he whispered, "Stop him." But none of the summoners beside him moved. Dan Feiying was slightly stunned. "Why aren't you moving?" He glanced around and suddenly had a creepy feeling. Except for him, the remaining summoners, including the summoned beasts, were all covered in bones. Except for their eyes, they could not move their bodies, and they could not even make a sound. Dan Feiying glared at Lin Moi. At this time, Lin Moi had already walked in front of him. He saw a flash of fire in Lin Moi's palm. The next second, a heart-wrenching pain erupted in his mind. A scream resounded through the sky, and Dan Feiying curled up and shivered. He watched Lin Moi pass by him and enter the dungeon with Mo Yun. The unimaginable pain made him unable to move, unable to stop them. After a while, he recovered from the pain. His eyes stared at the dungeon, with a hint of hatred and fear. Soon, the bones on the summoners shattered at the same time, and they regained their freedom. They said to Dan Feiying one after another, "Young Patriarch, are you okay? Do you want to notify the Patriarch?" "Young Patriarch, we were all controlled just now." Dan Feiying shook his head. "No need, the other party didn't want to hurt me, just gave me a warning." "What a terrible soul attack, who is this person? Mo Yun actually knows such a powerful guy. You guys go and investigate this guy's identity. He knows soul attacks, has powerful binding skills, and is so young." Dan Feiying summarized Lin Moi's information. A person like Lin Moi must be very famous. At this time, a subordinate whispered, "Young Patriarch, no need to investigate, I can probably guess his identity." "Who is it?" Dan Feiying asked. "Young Patriarch, you have been cultivating in the family's secret realm for the past 6 months, so you don't know. A godlike person has appeared outside." Dan Feiying was puzzled. He had been cultivating in the family's secret realm for the past 6 months and didn't know about the outside world. "Stop beating around the bush, just say it," Dan Feiying said. 49. That person responded repeatedly, "Yes, yes, if I'm not mistaken, he should be Lin Mo, the youngest 3-star divine general of the entire human race." Dan Feiying screamed, "What are you talking about? 3-star divine general? He's clearly not even level 60, how could he be a 3-star divine general?" That person said, "Everyone in the human race knows about divine general Lin now, the young clan leader can find out with a little inquiry." Dan Feiying didn't doubt his words, thought for a moment, "We'll go back first." "What about Miss Mo Yun?" Dan Feiying shouted, "Miss Mo Yun my ass, if he's really a divine general, how many lives do I have to provoke him? Hurry, let's go." Several people activated their teleportation stones and left this place of trouble. Holy Light Swamp Dungeon, Hell Difficulty. The dungeon is filled with swamps, each swamp emitting a holy white light, quite different from ordinary swamps. Patches of swamps are interwoven, forming a narrow road. At the edge of the swamps, a large number of plants grow. There are flowers and grass, and most of all, there are short trees. The short trees are no more than a meter high, without branches or leaves, but with thick and long branches. The branches hang down to the ground, sinking into the swamp, no one knows how long they are. Mo Yun said, "You can't fly in this dungeon, you can only move forward along the roads between the swamps. We must be careful of these short trees on the edge of the swamp, their attacks are very troublesome. The branches can entangle people, they are very strong, and once entangled, it is difficult to break free." Lin Mo asked, "Is flying prohibited here?" Lin Mo didn't feel the power of the no-fly zone, and didn't feel like he couldn't fly. Mo Yun shook her head, "It's not a no-fly zone, but flying will be attacked by the Holy Light Swamp. The power of the Holy Light's attack is very strong, and it cannot be avoided." Lin Mo was a little curious, "I'll try." As he said that, he unfolded his lightning undead wings and flew up. As soon as he left the ground, a pure white holy light landed on him. The bone armor shone brightly, blocking the holy light. The holy light, like a searchlight, shot out from the nearest swamp, continuously attacking Lin Mo. The attack of one swamp wasn't strong, Lin Mo almost ignored it. He tried to fly higher, and as he flew higher, the attacking holy light also changed corners, almost moving in sync with Lin Mo. It really was unavoidable. After flying more than 10 meters above the ground, 3 more white lights landed on him. 4 swamps attacked him at the same time. The power of the 4 attacks didn't increase 4-fold, but more than 10-fold. The bone armor made a creaking sound, and it looked like it was about to collapse. Lin Mo landed, and as soon as he landed, all attacks disappeared. It's really peculiar, Lin Mo said softly. Mo Yun said, a few holy light attacks are not a problem, but the more holy light there is later, the attack power will increase exponentially. So, you can't fly here. Lin Mo knew he could definitely withstand it, but Mo Yun probably couldn't. Since that's the case, then let's fight from the ground. Chapter 533, Feather of the God of Light. Without Mo Yun taking action, the Undead Legion had already set out. As soon as the Undead Legion appeared, they rushed out unscrupulously. A full 36 Lich Generals, each Lich General possessing 1080 skeletons, a total of 38,880 skeletons collectively set out. Lin Mo didn't follow the rule that you couldn't fly in the dungeon at all, he himself was using the lightning undead wings, giving the Undead Legion the ability to fly. The skeletons flew out overwhelmingly, not caring about the light in the Holy Light Swamp. There were too many skeletons, and the Holy Light Swamp simply couldn't focus its attacks on one of them. Once the Holy Light attacks were dispersed, the power was completely insufficient. The short trees in the dungeon began to counterattack frantically, a large number of branches were drawn out of the swamp, hitting the skeletons with a pure white light. The skeletons also began to counterattack at the same time, the skeleton berserkers' axes danced, and broken branches flew everywhere. Elemental explosions continued to explode, blasting all the way, the explosions swept through. Where the elemental explosions passed, not a blade of grass grew, even more efficient than the skeleton berserkers. Although the power of the skeleton archmage's elemental explosions wasn't very strong, that was when fighting level 70 or 80 world boss. Dealing with these same level dungeon monsters, the power of the elemental explosions was not small. Mo Yun was stunned, it was the first time she had seen that you could actually play a dungeon like this. Completely ignoring the rules of the dungeon, it was simply bulldozing through with brute force. Unreasonable way of playing. Mo Yun looked at the battle that was happening in front of her, and seeing the constantly popping up information, she had to believe that the fact was just like that. Lin Mo's way of playing was just so unreasonable. She glanced at Lin Mo in shock, no wonder his leveling speed is so fast. The experience from soloing dungeons already exceeds others, plus the efficiency is so high. If he could take me to farm dungeons, then my leveling speed. Thinking of this, Mo Yun quickly extinguished this thought of her own. How can you rely on others? You are Mo Yun, you are someone who is going to become a god-level powerhouse. No god-level powerhouse relies on others. Mo Yun constantly gave herself psychological cues, but the constantly gained experience points now made her a little obsessed. This feeling is too comfortable. Lin Mo didn't know the complexity of Mo Yun's heart. Let's go, let's see what's in the swamp. Lin Mo was very curious why the swamp would attack him. Could it be that the swamp is also some kind of monster? Now the monsters on the large roads nearby have been cleaned up, and the Undead Legion is advancing towards the depths of the dungeon. Lin Mo and Mo Yun walked to the edge of the swamp, looking at the swamp covered by white light. What do you think is below? Mo Yun shook her head. I'm not very clear, probably no one has ever gone down. I'll go take a look. He let a skeleton berserker jump down. The swamp was as soft as cotton, and like layers of waves, surging in bursts. But there was nothing in the swamp, the cause of this phenomenon was actually light. The light had substance. Moreover, these lights would drag the skeleton berserker down, exactly like the feeling of a swamp. The skeleton berserker sank all the way, and soon reached the bottom. Lin Mo saw a ball of light through induction. This was the source of the light in this small swamp. Found it. The corners of Lin Mo's mouth rose slightly, and the skeleton berserker picked up the ball of light. When the ball of light was held in the skeleton berserker's hand, the light covering this swamp disappeared. A pit about 6 or 7 meters in diameter and 10 meters deep appeared in the sight of the two. The pit was very ordinary. What was not ordinary was the ball of light in the skeleton berserker's hand. Mo Yun looked at the pit at her feet. So that's what's going on. 50. Lin Mo spoke with a smile. Let's go down and take a look. There seems to be something else down there. Something else? Mo Yun was a little puzzled, but Lin Mo had already jumped down first, and she could only follow. Anyway, the dungeon had the Undead Legion to clean up, so they didn't need to worry about it. Arriving at the bottom of the pit, Lin Mo took the ball of light from the skeleton berserker's hand. The detection spell flew silently. Feather of the God of Light. A feather that fell from the wings of the God of Light, possessing a certain amount of light power. Mo Yun said in surprise, the ball of light here is actually a feather of the God of Light. Does the god of light have wings? Lin Mo said softly, perhaps. He thought of the huge and magnificent angel statue in the light element dungeon. Lin Mo felt that perhaps this was the image of the god of light. Mo Yun didn't ask further. The god of light was just a legendary existence, and she guessed that Lin Mo had never seen it either. Then Lin Mo looked at the original location of the feather. The feather was in the center of the pit's bottom. When the feather was taken away, it revealed a hole the size of a fist. Mo Yun said strangely, why is there a hole? Lin Mo observed carefully, this hole seems to lead somewhere, but it's too small to enter. Lin Mo studied it for a while but couldn't figure anything out, so he didn't dwell on it too much. He handed the feather of the god of light to Mo Yun, try it and see if your summon has any use for it. Mo Yun came here to find the holy light swamp where the boss was located, which was the area with the strongest holy light in the entire dungeon. But the core of the holy light swamp was the feather of the god of light, so it might be useful. Mo Yun wasn't pretentious. She took the feather and placed it on the head of the holy spirit unicorn. The feather immediately bloomed with a brilliant light, and then gradually melted, merging with the holy spirit unicorn. Mo Yun revealed a happy expression, it's useful. Although the effect isn't very strong, it's really useful. I can feel that Little White has become stronger. So it's called Little White. Lin Mo chuckled. The holy spirit unicorn was pure white and exuded a holy light, so calling it Little White was quite fitting. Lin Mo stroked it, and Little White showed an expression of enjoyment. It knew Lin Mo and knew that Lin Mo was its master's friend. Since it's useful, then let's continue. Lin Mo's heart stirred, and the skeletons jumped into the swamp one after another, taking out the feathers of the god of light from inside. One by one, the light swamps were extinguished, and the appearance of this dungeon was changing. Mo Yun said in a low voice, if we take all the feathers of the god of light, will this dungeon still exist? Lin Mo thought for a while, that depends on what the source of these feathers is. Remember the hole from before? Mo Yun nodded. Lin Mo said, I can feel that the end of the hole is connected to the true source of this dungeon. As long as the source is fine, this dungeon will continue to exist. Mo Yun didn't have as keen a sense as Lin Mo, but she believed Lin Mo's words. The skeletons kept bringing back the feathers of the god of light, and Mo Yun put all the feathers on the holy spirit unicorn for it to absorb. After absorbing a large number of feathers of the god of light, the holy spirit unicorn's aura gradually became stronger, and the light on its body became more and more holy. Mo Yun explained, we summoners, in addition to strengthening ourselves, can also strengthen our summons. When the summon becomes strong to a certain extent, its attributes will feed back to us summoners. In this way, we can become stronger. Like my attributes, they are actually stronger than those of the same level. Then Mo Yun continued, but not all summoners have this ability. It has something to do with our bloodline and the summon. Like the Dan family's Golden Rock summon, it doesn't have this ability. Lin Mo nodded, an enviable ability. Mo Yun asked strangely, doesn't your summon have this ability? Lin Mo shook his head, no. Mo Yun knew that Lin Mo's attributes were very strong and thought that Lin Mo's summon also had the same ability as her. Mo Yun asked with a hint of curiosity, how many attributes do you have now? Is it convenient to say? Not only was she curious, but her eyes also carried a hint of comparison. 0. 3. Lin Mo was stronger than her in every way, and the two were not on the same level in terms of combat power. The only thing Mo Yun could show off was her attributes. There's nothing inconvenient about it. Which attribute are you asking about? Lin Mo said casually. Mo Yun said, all attributes. Lin Mo said, all attributes, more than 550,000 points. Mo Yun almost staggered and fell to the ground, her eyes as wide as bells. How much did you say? Lin Mo said it again, 558,820, is there a problem? Mo Yun was like a deflated ball, stomping her foot hard. I knew I shouldn't have asked, I was just asking for trouble. You're really a monster, your attributes are higher than those of a world boss of the same level. Lin Mo chuckled, they're really not as high as mine. Unknowingly, the two had reached the end of the dungeon. A swamp with a diameter of more than 100 meters appeared in front of them. The light here far exceeded other places, and rays of light shot straight into the sky like sharp blades. Lin Mo said, this is the source. Chapter 534. I didn't want to be his wife anyway. In the center of this swamp, a large tree blotted out the sky. This tree was the same as the previous short trees, except that it was taller and larger. It was more than 20 meters tall, and the area covered by its branches exceeded at least 100 meters in radius. Countless branches hung down, reaching deep into the light swamp. Under the cover of the light, its whole body was also emitting white light, looking a bit holy, looking like a holy tree. The light came from the god of light, so it was full of holy aura. If it lost its source, then it would be nothing. Mo Yun said, "It can move. I'll lure it out, and you quickly take it down. Don't let it run back to the holy light swamp to absorb holy light. If it absorbs holy light, its injuries will heal, and its strength will increase." Lin Mo shook his head. "There's no need for so much trouble." As soon as he finished speaking, the boss suddenly exploded. A skeleton archmage directly took action, using elemental explosion. The boss shook violently, and a large number of branches lashed out like whips. The skeleton archmage had already retreated quickly, avoiding the branches. The boss jumped out of the light swamp and chased after the skeleton archmage. Mo Yun then realized that she had thought too much. With so many skeletons, there was no need for her to pull the monster. Lin Mo could do what she could do, so she didn't need to bother herself. This was the first time Mo Yun had cleared a dungeon so easily. This feeling was a bit comfortable. The boss was completely pulled out of the light swamp, and its body was covered with branches, with a length of more than several hundred meters. In the blink of an eye, it had been pulled hundreds of meters away. Lin Mo said in a low voice, "That's about enough." He pointed his finger towards the distance. Skill, Curse of Aging. Skill, Poison Starburst. 51. Red and green lights flashed alternately, and then several elemental liches appeared at the same time. For a time, thunder rumbled, and the boss was covered with a layer of blue ice. The skeletons instantly surrounded it and took action collectively. The elements roared, and the skeleton berserker's axe fell with a red light. Lin Moyu didn't even want to look at the boss's attributes, it wasn't necessary. A level 55 dungeon boss, even a plant-type boss, even a hell difficulty boss. Under the siege of the current undead army, it could only be instantly killed. As for escaping back, it was impossible. In just 2 seconds after Lin Moyu started, Mo Yun received the message that the boss had been killed. She widened her beautiful eyes, incredulous, and muttered, "It's killed already." Otherwise, Lin Moyu said noncommittally, if it weren't to prevent him from absorbing the holy light, there would be no need to lure him out. Mo Yun felt that what Lin Moyu said made sense. Killing it in just 2 seconds, there was indeed no need to lure it out. Lin Moyu hadn't used that strong soldier's skill yet, otherwise he could have killed it instantly. Mo Yun felt that Lin Moyu's strength was becoming more and more perverted, much stronger than the last time she saw him. She seemed to be getting further and further away from him. Lin Moyu's voice interrupted her thoughts. "We can enter the swamp now." Mo Yun nodded and walked into the swamp with Lin Moyu. The two gradually sank in the holy light. The light became substantial, like waves, hitting one after another. The two sank to the bottom of the swamp in the light, and their eyes were filled with white, unable to see anything. Not to mention Mo Yun, even her holy spirit unicorn was now blind. Lin Moyu closed his eyes and summoned a skeleton. Skeletons don't need eyes, they have their own perspective. Using the skeleton's perspective, he quickly found the direction. "Follow me." Lin Moyu suddenly grabbed Mo Yun's hand and led her forward. In the white light, Mo Yun's pretty face flushed. It's the second time. It was the second time Lin Moyu had held her little hand. The first time was in the ancient battlefield, this was the second time. For a time, not only Mo Yun's face, but her heart was also beating fast. Suddenly, Lin Moyu's shout rang in her ears, "Be careful." Immediately afterwards, Mo Yun felt herself being picked up by Lin Moyu, and then her whole person was retreating rapidly. She was not only picked up, but also changed to a different angle. The speed of retreat suddenly accelerated, and Mo Yun felt a huge impact. Attacked. Although Mo Yun couldn't see, her heart was clear. She was about to use her skills to let Little White come over to protect them. Lin Moyu's voice rang in her ears again, "No need, it's okay." In the voice, the momentum of the two retreating stopped. A cracking sound came from her ears, and Mo Yun knew that the undead army had arrived. A large number of skeletons rushed in front of the two and protected them. Then a large number of impacts continued to sound, and skeletons were constantly being knocked away. Lin Moyu said, "The source of this is a bit interesting, it has the power of self-protection, not allowing anyone to approach." Mo Yun hummed softly and didn't speak. Surprisingly, she didn't ask Lin Moyu to put her down. Mo Yun lowered her head, her face flushed, and her mind was in a mess. Just now, Lin Moyu's sentence, "It's okay," actually made her feel extremely at ease. This was an unprecedented sense of security, incomparably warm. She felt that Lin Moyu was blocking all the wind and rain, and even felt that Lin Moyu was incomparably tall. "Mo Yun, you are a woman who wants to become a god, what are you thinking about? But that feeling is really comfortable. You have to rely on yourself, don't rely on others." "I'm not relying on others. He has a wife, and his wife is your good bestie." "I know, but I'm not his wife, can't I even think about it?" "No, I insist on thinking about it." Mo Yun's mind was in a battle between heaven and man. For a time there were two Mo Yuns talking, a mess. Lin Moyu didn't know how complicated her mind was. In the world full of light, Lin Moyu relied on the undead army to move forward continuously. Streams of light carried tremendous impact, constantly knocking skeletons away. Unfortunately, there were too many skeletons. It could block hundreds or thousands of them, but there were tens of thousands of skeletons. Finally, relying on the skeletons to block the bullets, Lin Moyu brought Mo Yun to the source of the light. Lin Moyu put Mo Yun down, then stretched out his big hand and pressed it directly on the source. The entire swamp of light was boiling, and the holy light began to retract, all retracting to the source. The huge swamp disappeared. The light finally disappeared, and Lin Moyu said softly, "Okay, you can open your eyes." "Okay." Mo Yun lowered her head, trying to keep herself calm. The blush on her face hadn't faded yet. She quietly glanced at Lin Moyu, and was relieved to find that Lin Moyu wasn't looking at her. Then she saw the source of the holy light. Half a wing. Holy, beautiful, more pure than the purest jade in the world countless times. Even the most perfect gemstone is not as good as it. This is. Mo Yun's breathing became rapid. She seemed to guess the identity of this thing, but didn't dare to believe it. Lin Moyu said, "This should be the wing of the god of light, it was cut off by someone." Detection technique flew out. Wing of the god of light, contains the power essence of the god of light. Mo Yun 923 whispered, "Have you seen the god of light?" Lin Moyu said, "Do you know the Holy See? They believe in angels, do you know them?" Mo Yun nodded, "I know. The appearance of the god of light should be similar to that of an angel. I suspect that the Holy See actually believes in the god of light, but maybe even they themselves are not clear. So that's how it is." Lin Moyu actually had another guess in his heart. He suspected that the Holy See was a chess piece arranged by the god of light in the human world. Even if the gods fall, they have a chance to be resurrected. The power of faith is very important among them. If the god of light wants to be resurrected, it is not easy to do it on his own. If the Holy See gathers the power of faith for him, the chance will be much greater. Lin Moyu then pressed on the wings of the god of light. "Unfortunately, I got these wings. If the people of the Holy See get them and worship them every day, maybe you really have a chance to be resurrected." Mo Yun looked at Lin Moyu, "What are you talking about?" 52. Lin Mo's voice was very, very soft, and Mo Yun couldn't hear him clearly. Lin Mo shook his head, "It's nothing, you can let Little White absorb it." Mo Yun nodded and immediately called Little White over. Little White pressed its entire body against the wings and began to absorb the holy light from the wings. Little White's body became brighter and brighter. In just a few seconds, the energy absorbed by Little White exceeded all that it had absorbed earlier. The feathers were just insignificant fragments that had fallen from here. Absorbing more feathers was not as good as directly absorbing the wings. The wings contained the essence of the god of light, which was almost infinite. From here, Lin Mo could feel the vastness of the holy light energy, and from it, he judged that the god of light was once a mid-level god. At least it was no weaker than the god of poison. Unfortunately, he is now dead, and even his wings have been cut off. What exactly happened back then? Chapter 535. Think about the consequences if you make a move. Lin Mo was very curious about what happened back then. In the great battle back then, the gods almost all fell. Even if there were survivors, no one knew where they were hiding. Anyway, for nearly 1,000 years, the gods have disappeared and have not appeared in the world. Several elemental copies appeared, all like backhands left by the gods. He also killed a god who only had half a breath left, and also witnessed the self-destruction of a god. He also killed a newborn god. The secrets of that year have never been solved. The holy light was still shining, and Lin Mo and Mo Yun were thinking about different things. It wasn't until Little White let out a crisp cry that Mo Yun came back to her senses. Little White had absorbed enough holy light and reached its limit. At this time, it was at least twice as strong as when it first entered the dungeon. Similarly, its attributes were also fed back to Mo Yun, and Mo Yun's attributes also increased a lot. Moreover, this increase will continue for some time. Mo Yun was pleasantly surprised, but just as she was happy for less than 3 seconds, when she thought of Lin Mo's amazing and perverted attributes, Mo Yun's slight joy disappeared again. Lin Mo touched Little White, and Little White also made an enjoyable hum. "Are you full?" Little White seemed to understand Lin Mo's words and hummed twice. Mo Yun said in a low voice, "Thank you, Little White has reached its limit. It has accumulated enough power, and the next evolution will have to wait until I turn 3. The summoner and the summoned beast complement each other and restrict each other. If the summoned beast is too weak, the summoner will not be strong, and vice versa. If the summoned beast wants to continue to evolve, it also needs the summoner's level to be raised." Lin Mo understood what Mo Yun meant. "Then come to me after you turn 3, I will keep this wing for the time being." Lin Mo didn't want to occupy it for himself, but the wings were full of the aura of gods. Mo Yun didn't know the importance of it. If she took it out rashly, it is estimated that a large number of god-level powerhouses would come to her door soon. Even gods might come. With Mo Yun's strength, she couldn't protect it. Mo Yun said, "This was originally yours, you can just lend it to me when the time comes." Anytime. Lin Mo was not polite and directly put away the wings. The divine wings, which are very precious to others, are nothing more than that in Lin Mo's eyes. After all, he even has a complete divine corpse, let alone a mere wing. After putting away the wings, Lin Mo saw the hole below the wings. After careful study, Lin Mo understood, the wings of the God of Light use this hole to transmit its power to the various swamp feathers. Originally, the roots of the boss should have been in the hole. But why did it do this? Lin Mo thought, and the whole person slowly rose into the air, looking down from the air. Mo Yun also flew up on Little White. "Did you find anything?" Lin Mo looked at it for a moment. "Look at the positions of these swamps, what do they look like?" Mo Yun looked at it for a moment and said uncertainly, "It seems to be a formation." Lin Mo nodded, "Yes, it is a formation. I guess the wings of the God of Light must be doing something, but what exactly are they doing?" Lin Mo thought for a long time but couldn't figure it out. "Forget it, I don't want to think about it." He knew that his strength was not enough, and there were too many things he couldn't understand. When his strength comes in the future, he may naturally be able to understand it. Moreover, no matter what arrangements the gods have, as long as his strength is sufficient, he can break them. "Let's go." As soon as the two left the dungeon, a sound like glass breaking suddenly came from the dungeon. Then the dungeon vortex shattered with a bang, and the dungeon disappeared. The two looked at each other, and this result was also expected by Lin Mo. The source of the Holy Light Swamp dungeon is the wings of the God of Light. Now that the wings have been taken away, the dungeon will naturally cease to exist. The movement of the dungeon's destruction was neither big nor small, and immediately attracted the attention of some nearby professionals. "What's going on? Why is the dungeon gone?" Immediately someone surrounded them. "Did you destroy the dungeon?" A group of professionals, a full dozen of them, surrounded the two aggressively, questioning them. Although this dungeon is not very good, it can obtain some light element materials. There are not many dungeons that can obtain light element materials, and this is considered a rare one. But now, it has collapsed. Lin Mo's eyes swept over everyone. "The dungeon was indeed destroyed because of me, but what does it have to do with you?" Someone stared at Lin Mo. "The dungeon will not be destroyed for no reason, you must have done something." Some people's eyes were turning quickly. "Did you get something from the dungeon?" Lin Mo nodded. "I did get something good, but what's it to you?" "Hand over the things." Someone said sinisterly. "Yes, hand over the things. The dungeon belongs to everyone, don't think about taking the things you get for yourself." Lin Mo chuckled. He knew that he couldn't reason with these people, and his attitude instantly became strong. "Do you want to rob me?" Everyone's expressions changed. "Boy, you have to think clearly, if you don't hand over the things today, you won't be able to leave." That sinister voice appeared again. "There are many demons here, even if you die here, just consider it as being killed by demons." "Ah!" A scream rang out suddenly. The owner of that voice suddenly screamed in pain, hugging his head, and the whole person shrank on the ground, shivering. With Lin Mo's perception ability, it was useless for him to hide in the crowd. The scream only lasted for less than 2 seconds before it disappeared. The man hugged his head and made no sound, he was already dead. Lin Mo killed people directly without any warning. This scene frightened everyone to take a few steps back. No one thought that Lin Mo's murderous nature would be so strong. He killed people as soon as he said he would, so simply. Moreover, the methods were so terrifying and unprecedented. Some people didn't even understand how Lin Mo did it. 53. This kind of person deserves to die. Lin Mo's gaze swept over the crowd. If you make a move, think clearly about the consequences. Lin Mo was extremely forceful, which made everyone hesitate. Lin Mo didn't mind people snatching things, greed is human nature. But if you use demons as an excuse, then you are severing yourself from the human race, and Lin Mo will never be soft-hearted. Seeing that everyone didn't dare to speak, Lin Mo said to Mo Yun, "Let's go. You killed my brother, and you still want to leave, dream on." Suddenly a loud shout erupted, and a fist-sized magic crystal was thrown over. Mo Yun exclaimed, "Thunderous Demon Quake." Thunderous Demon Quake is a weapon created by the human race, like a bomb. The power of Thunderous Demon Quake is not small. The worst Thunderous Demon Quake is equivalent to the full attack power of a level 60+ mage. This Thunderous Demon Quake in front of him is about the size of a fist. Its power would not be less than the power of a level 70, fully transferred top mage, using all his skills. If a normal level 50+ professional were to encounter it, they would likely be instantly killed. "Madman, do you want to kill us?" A group of people shouted and ran away for their lives. Lin Mo's face was a little unsightly. Thunderous Demon Quake is an item controlled by the military, ordinary people can't get it at all. It seems that the other party has connections with the military, and the relationship is very close. But using the military's managed items to deal with himself, who is also a member of the human race. Lin Mo remembered his appearance. Thunderous Demon Quake exploded with a bang, and the sky was full of thunder. This was a lightning-type Thunderous Demon Quake. After the explosion, the surrounding hundreds of meters were shrouded in lightning. The power is indeed considerable. A level 70 mage, at full strength, would have this kind of power. Mo Yun and Little White's bone armor flashed, blocking the lightning attack. Lin Mo didn't even activate his bone armor. He is 100% immune to electrical elements. Standing in the lightning, he will not be harmed at all. Lin Mo stood in the thunder, letting the lightning dance on his body. At this moment he seemed to become the god of thunder. Those who scattered and fled were stunned. Especially the person who threw the Thunderous Demon Quake. At this time his soul was greatly frightened, and he ran away like he was flying. But how could he escape? Flames flickered in Lin Mo's palm, and screams immediately resounded through the heavens and the earth. The man had not run 2 steps before he fell to the ground, twitched twice and then stopped moving. Lin Mo shot with all his strength, 2 or 3 consecutive soul flames, enough to kill professional of the same level. Soul attacks, if there are no corresponding protective skills, are very terrible killing skills. Lin Mo's gaze swept over the crowd, his eyes cold with killing intent. Is there anyone else who wants to come over? No one dared to say anything. They retreated far away, avoiding him like the plague. Lin Mo's attack was too sharp, killing people without blinking an eye, and the methods were strange and unpredictable. A few seconds later, the thunder disappeared. Lin Mo said to Mo Yun, "Let's go." No one dared to stop them again. Chapter 536. Even if you reincarnate 10 more times, it won't be your turn. Not far outside Fortress Number 4, the military set up a stand, enough to accommodate tens of thousands of people at the same time. At this time, there are still a few hours before the opening of the Divine Stone Dungeon, and many people have already rushed over. The Divine Stone Dungeon opens once every 10 years, and the final reward is that half-piece of Talent Divine Stone. A complete Talent Divine Stone can allow people to 100% awaken their talent when they transfer for the 3rd time. The half-piece of Talent Divine Stone in the Divine Stone Dungeon only has a 30% chance of awakening talent. The effect is very different. But the real Talent Divine Stone has been extinct for hundreds of years, and people can't get it at all. Only the Divine Stone Dungeon, which opens once every 10 years, the final reward inside, half a Talent Divine Stone, is the only thing that has a chance to be obtained. Over the years, every 10 years, many people have obtained rewards from it, and finally awakened their talents during the 3rd transfer. More and more people are rushing over. Lin Mo also moved forward slowly in the crowd. Many young people have already met each other in these short 10 days, and even started their love journey. They are in pairs, attracting envious eyes from many people. There are many young people, and even more old men. A group of old guys took this opportunity to reminisce. Everyone is usually busy, it is rare to have the opportunity to meet together. The once-in-a-decade Divine Stone Dungeon, blind date meeting, is also a rare opportunity for them. More and more people on the stage, only one area is relatively empty. That is the guest area. To be invited by the military as a guest, identity and strength are indispensable. If Lin Mo is just an unranked Divine General, he might not be invited. But he is now a 3-star Divine General, a being who truly possesses the power to slay gods, and will naturally be invited. Lin Mo, as the youngest Divine General of the entire human race, completely broke the old concepts, mastering heaven-defying combat power at only level 50+, which is amazing. Lin Mo has become a miracle, destined to be written into history. Especially the other day, Lin Mo fought against the gods in the Kunlun Mountains, which has now been spread out. Although that battle was short, only about a minute. But it makes people talk about it with relish, which also proves that Lin Mo truly possesses the power to slay gods. Little brother, you haven't found a partner either. Suddenly someone patted Lin Mo on the shoulder. Lin Mo saw a burly muscular man, half naked on his upper body, wearing half-body armor, and carrying a huge long-handled axe on his shoulder. Lin Mo didn't say anything, just shook his head gently. He really didn't find a partner. Ning Yi has not been able to contact him until now. The man said strangely, "It shouldn't be, little brother, you look so good, not like me, who is so burly, the girls run away when they see me. This man looks fierce, especially carrying a big axe, it will indeed scare away little girls." Lin Mo chuckled lightly, and didn't say anything. Suddenly his eyes lit up, revealing a strong joy, and suddenly walked forward. "Little brother, that is the guest area," the man shouted loudly. "Someone saw Lin Mo, someone dares to break into the guest area, don't want to live anymore. The guest area is full of big people, guarded by the military, ordinary people are not qualified to enter at all. This young man, I'm afraid he will suffer. I don't know which family he came from, so ignorant of the rules. Look, the people from the military have moved." A team of soldiers rushed over and stood in front of Lin Mo. "Stop, the front is the guest area, no trespassing." Lin Mo ignored them, and directly put his 3-star Divine General badge on his shoulder. Several soldiers stood up straight, saluting Lin Mo. "Greetings, Divine General." Lin Mo nodded, passed by them, and walked into the guest area. Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. This young man is a Divine General. Could it be a mistake? Mistake, your parents took the wrong you, the Divine General will not be mistaken. God, I know who he is Divine General Lin. For a time, the team exploded. 54. Such a young Divine General, needless to say, it could only be one person. Lin Mo didn't pay attention to the outside noise, his eyes were only on one person. Ning Yi was standing there prettily, her beautiful eyes sparkling, watching Lin Mo intently. With a mischievous smile on her face, she seemed to have seen Lin Mo long ago. Lin Mo walked over quickly, his gaze never leaving Ning Yi for a second. As for Ning Taran beside Ning Yi, he was completely ignored. Lin Mo came to Ning Yi. Ning Yi opened her arms and jumped onto Lin Mo like a koala, hugging Lin Mo tightly. Without words, without sound, longing dissipated in the embrace. Ning Taran's beard puffed out automatically, jumping up and down. However, he didn't say anything, and didn't dare to interrupt, otherwise Ning Yi would definitely fall out with him. Ning Taran had fought all his life, fearing neither heaven nor earth, only his precious granddaughter. A stream of light appeared, flying from the distant sky like a shooting star, and then exploded in the air with a bang, like beautiful fireworks. A huge golden unicorn appeared in the sky. The unicorn was full of flowing light, and the phantom was dozens of meters high, occupying most of the sky. CJBI, a vast aura swept out from the sky, covering the entire field. Wow, so beautiful. It's the #1 summoner of our Divine Sha Empire, and also the #1 summoner of the human race, Lord Mo Xinghai. A level 95 summoner, so strong. I feel like I'm being crushed and can't breathe. The young people below sighed in unison, with hope in their eyes, hoping that one day they could become such a powerful existence. Ning Taran's eyes showed disdain. Old Mo, still so flamboyant. A few seconds later, the unicorn phantom disappeared, and a 5-colored unicorn appeared in the sky. Mo Xinghai was standing next to the unicorn. Standing beside him were Mo Yun, and her Holy Spirit unicorn. The Holy Spirit unicorn was emitting a holy light, pure white, setting off Mo Yun like a fairy. So beautiful. The Mo family's young lady is indeed a beauty that could topple nations. She's more than just a beauty that could topple nations, she's also a peerless genius. Whoever can marry her is blessed for 10 lifetimes. Heh, don't even think about it, you won't get your turn even if you're reincarnated 10 times. Mo Yun followed behind Mo Xinghai and landed in the guest area. Mo Xinghai walked towards Ning Taran. Old Ning, long time no see. Ning Taran snorted softly, long time no see, you're still alive. Mo Xinghai laughed, you're still alive, how could I die? The two were old friends, who had shared life and death, and they joked casually. Ning Yi finally came down from Lin Moi, and greeted Mo Yun, hello, Sister Yuner. Mo Yun looked at Ning Yi, with a smile on her face, but her eyes were slightly complicated. Yi, have you been in special training recently? Ning Yi hummed, yes, the stinky grandpa threw me into a secret realm and wouldn't let me out. While speaking, she glared at Ning Taran. Ning Taran chuckled, pretending not to see it. Mo Yun said softly, it seems that the special training has been effective, you're almost level 50 now, right? Ning Yi said, only level 48, still a bit away from level 50. Level 48 is not bad. Mo Yun said softly. The two hadn't seen each other for a long time since they parted ways in the ancestral land. Mo Yun pulled Ning Yi aside to talk. Ning Yi could only go over, looking at Lin Moi helplessly. Suddenly, a strange fragrance floated over. There was wind in the Yuan battlefield, but it couldn't blow away the fragrance. The fragrance gathered and didn't dissipate, as if it had life, drilling into everyone's noses. People who smelled the fragrance felt refreshed, and their fatigue was swept away. So fragrant, what is so fragrant? And after I smelled it, I feel much better and full of fighting spirit. So fragrant, and can also refresh the mind, this is the military soul incense. Aspiration, burn my military soul, it's the medicine god's military soul incense. Amidst people's exclamations, an old man appeared in the wide space. He was dressed in plain clothes, elegant and calm, exuding a powerful and profound aura. Shu Medicine God had arrived, and Shu Han was following beside him. Shu Medicine God and Ning Taran were also good friends, and they immediately gathered together. Shu Han smiled and greeted Lin Moi, hello, Junior Lin. Lin Moi smiled, hello, Senior. Yi is here too, I'm going to chat with Yi, Junior Lin, you stay here. Shu Han smiled playfully and went straight to the team of Mo Yun and Ning Yi. At this time, the world brightened up, turning the originally dark Yuan battlefield into daylight. A huge golden long sword appeared in the sky. The golden sword energy swept across the fields, and the sound of cutting kept ringing in the air. It's the sword god, Lord Feng Chang'an. The sword god is really strong, I only took a look, and I felt like I was about to be torn apart. The sword god's attack is known as the #1 among the god level, of course it's not something you and I can withstand. He is my idol. Chapter 537, Can't Hold Back. One divine level powerhouse after another appeared on the stage, showing off in front of everyone, bringing up exclamations. Everyone hopes that one day, they can also become a divine level powerhouse. Perhaps one or two of the people present will eventually reach this step, but most people will still fade into obscurity. No matter how talented they once were, how much hope their families and relatives placed on them. Where they will eventually reach is unknown. After all, only a few can become divine level powerhouses. 2 more rays of light flashed across the sky. Lin Moi looked up and couldn't help but smile. Bai Yiyuan is back. However, along with Bai Yiyuan, there was also a middle-aged beautiful woman. Lin Moi smiled and said, Teacher, you are back. Yes. Bai Yiyuan's expression seemed a little unnatural. The middle-aged beautiful woman who came back with Bai Yiyuan suddenly said to Lin Moi, you are Yiyuan's disciple, Xiao Yu, right? Lin Moi's eyes turned slightly, greetings, master's wife. Bai Yiyuan's eyebrows twitched, but he didn't object. The middle-aged beautiful woman was obviously overjoyed by this shout of master's wife, and chuckled repeatedly, okay, good boy. Master's wife didn't prepare anything, so I'll give you this as a greeting gift. Saying that, the middle-aged beautiful woman directly stuffed something into Lin Moi's hand. Teacher. Lin Moi didn't expect this master's wife to be so enthusiastic. One shouldn't refuse a gift from an elder, so he simply accepted it generously. The reason why Lin Moi dared to call her master's wife was because he felt the aura on Bai Yiyuan and the middle-aged beautiful woman. The middle-aged beautiful woman had Bai Yiyuan's aura on her body, and it wasn't just on the surface. Similarly, Bai Yiyuan also had the aura of the middle-aged beautiful woman on his body. The auras of both sides were intertwined, inseparable. Lin Moi could be sure that something must have happened between the two. 55. That's why he dared to call her Xiniang, a diaresis, a respectful term for teacher's wife, and indeed, he was right to call her that. Bai Yiyuan said, her name is Zhu Qingliu, class of 94, a divine-level healer. Lin Moyu was secretly astonished. Although there were divine-level healers in the empire, their numbers were not many. He respectfully called out, hello, Xiniang Qingliu. Zhu Qingliu repeatedly said, good, good, good. The repeated calls of Xiniang made her extremely happy. Bai Yiyuan sighed helplessly on the side. Ning Tyran and several old fellows walked over and congratulated Bai Yiyuan. Congratulations, Lao Bai, on finding such a beautiful woman. Bai Yiyuan waved his hand. Go, 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 what are you old fellows doing joining in the fun? They ignored Bai Yiyuan's reaction and said to Zhu Qingliu, congratulations, Goddess Lu, you finally captured Lao Bai. Zhu Qingliu happily smiled and said, thank you, I'll invite you to the wedding in a few days. Good, 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 we will definitely be there. Remember to prepare a good gift, nothing too light. Of course, of course. Suddenly, a tall tower appeared in the sky. The phantom of the Divine Sha Tower emerged, and Lin Moyu whispered, Teacher Meng is here. Swish, swish, swish. A large group of people ascended into the sky, all of them women. Moreover, each of them had remarkable looks, all of them were beautiful. Any one of them, when they were younger, would have been a stunning beauty, no less than Mo Yun and the like. Bai Yiyuan said with ill intentions, see, these are Lao Meng's lovers. If Lao Meng is willing, you kid will soon have more than a dozen Xiniangs. Lin Moyu smiled and said, then I can get more than a dozen greeting gifts. Bai Yiyuan's mouth twitched a few times, you greedy little bastard. Lin Moyu chuckled, teacher, add oil. Bai Yiyuan was stunned for a moment, add what oil? Lin Moyu said, add oil to give me a younger brother or younger sister. Get lost. Bai Yiyuan was so angry that he almost slapped him. Lin Moyu checked the greeting gift given by Zhu Qingliu. A divine-level healing amulet. An amulet sealed with a divine-level healing spell, which can be used repeatedly until the energy is exhausted. Good stuff. Lin Moyu was overjoyed. This was truly a life-saving treasure. Even if someone lost an arm or broke a leg, as long as they had this divine-level healing amulet, they could recover in an instant. Lin Moyu knew how difficult it was to make a divine-level healing amulet. It required a divine-level alchemist to make a blank amulet, and then a divine-level healer to seal the healing spell inside. Sealing one's own healing spell into an amulet would cause damage to oneself. Under normal circumstances, divine-level healers would not do this. Only out of concern for the safety of their loved ones would divine-level healers painstakingly create such an amulet, regardless of their own well-being. Having it was like having several more lives. Lin Moyu could feel the divine-level energy in the amulet, enough to be used at least 10 times. He didn't expect Zhu Qingliu to give him such a treasure so readily. This Xiniang seemed to be a really nice person. The phantom of the Divine Sha Tower in the sky was still flashing, and Meng Anwen had not yet arrived. Lin Moyu came to Ning Yi's side, Yi, this is for you. The amulet was useless to Lin Moyu. If he encountered a situation where he needed to use the amulet would not be able to save him. On the contrary, the amulet could save Ning Yi's life. Ning Yi blankly took the amulet, and after checking it, she exclaimed in surprise, a divine-level healing amulet. Then she quickly returned the amulet to Moyu, I don't want it, you keep it for yourself. Lin Moyu pushed it back to her, this amulet is useless to me, keep it, so I can feel more at ease. Be good, listen to me. Oh, Ning Yi happily put away the amulet. Seeing Ning Yi put away the amulet, Lin Moyu smiled, you guys continue chatting. He walked away, looking at the sky. A great show was about to be staged in the sky, and he wanted to see how the always calm and composed teacher Meng would deal with it. Seeing that Bai Yiyuan couldn't even handle one, Meng Anwen would probably have a headache. Just thinking about it made Lin Moyu feel amused. Ning Yi looked at Lin Moyu's back, a thoughtful look in her eyes. Requesting flowers Mo Yun whispered, I didn't expect him to give this to you too. Ning Yi hummed in agreement, he's afraid I'll be in danger. Shu Han softly said, Junior Lin is really good to you. Ning Yi's face turned red. She naturally knew how good Lin Moyu was to her. Mo Yun whispered in Ning Yi's ear, you can't keep dragging him down. Ning Yi nodded, I understand. I know I can't help him much, but I at least can't hold him back. In the future, I will level up on my own. Although it will be slower and more tiring, I can't drag his feet. Now the gap between the two's levels has gradually widened, and she also knows that Lin Moyu will level up faster and faster. She can no longer pester him like before and have him take her to grind dungeons. This will only slow down Lin Moyu's leveling speed. Mo Yun said, the enemies he encounters now are getting stronger and stronger. If he can't quickly raise his level, he might encounter enemies he can't fight in the future. ... Shu Han softly said, Junior Lin has his own path, which is different from ours. Mo Yun softly said, everyone's path is different. Ning Yi clenched her small fist, I also have my own path. Grandpa said that my path, when taken to the extreme, is also very powerful. Shu Han chuckled charmingly, that's right, our little Yi has always been very powerful. The phantom of the divine Sha Tower in the sky finally solidified after several minutes. At the moment of solidification, the handsome and elegant Meng Anwen appeared in midair. The divine Sha Tower was his backdrop, and Meng Anwen was already radiant just standing there. His aura overwhelmed everyone, incredibly powerful. The crowd standing below gasped. Meng Anwen didn't make any big movements, but the pressure he gave people was unprecedented. Goden, this is Goden. So strong, no wonder he's a dual profession, dual divine level, the only one in the world, unprecedented. Too strong, stronger than any divine level before. Why do I feel like the divine Sha Tower has become a foil for Goden? People erupted in excitement, shocked by Meng Anwen's power. A group of divine level powerhouses were also shocked. Ning Tyron whispered, I didn't expect this guy to become a high-level divine before us. Level 96, envious. Sword God Feng Chang'an said in a low voice. His sword energy soared into the sky, his fighting spirit raging, I really want to exchange blows with Lao Meng. Bai Yiyuan scoffed, forget it, fighting with him is the most boring. Feng Chang'an's fighting spirit disappeared, indeed, you can't even find where the enemy is, it's boring. After Meng Anwen appeared, the beauties who had ascended into the sky immediately swarmed up like bees, surrounding Meng Anwen in the center. 56. The crowd below was all ready to watch a good show. But after a moment, these beauties dispersed, and not a single one entangled Meng Anwen. Meng Anwen passed through the sea of flowers, untouched by a single petal, and flew down leisurely, stunning everyone. Chapter 538 I'll send him on his way and cut off your thoughts. No one knew how Meng Anwen did it. In short, Meng Anwen just did it, dashing and unrestrained. Moreover, the gazes of those beauties towards him were full of infatuation. Most importantly, there was no animosity between those beauties. Although God-level experts or God generals had the privilege of marrying multiple wives, it didn't mean that women wouldn't be jealous. Mo Yun also saw this scene and, on a whim, said to Ning Yi, Yi, what would you do if Lin Moyu had many confidants in the future? Ning Yi shook her head and said, it shouldn't happen. He doesn't even like to talk, so no girl would like him. Shu Han leaned over at this time and whispered, what if? Just imagine it. Ning Yi obediently imagined it, then it would depend on whether the other person's personality is good or not. If their personality is good, we might be able to become good sisters. The two of them widened their eyes, not expecting Ning Yi to utter such an answer. Ning Yi continued, don't you think it's strange? The two nodded together. Ning Yi said, actually, it's nothing. Excellent, 040, people are always liked by many. If that's really the case, I can't monopolize him alone, otherwise, he won't be happy either. Besides, my grandfather also has several wives. My first grandmother, second grandmother, and third grandmother are all very good to me. After getting the final answer, the two of them breathed a sigh of relief for some reason. Ning Yi looked at the two with sparkling eyes, Sister Yuner, Sister Shu, could it be that you've fallen for Mo Yu? No, don't talk nonsense. How is that possible? I'm so much older than him. The two quickly denied it, but the more they did, the more Ning Yi felt that they were guilty. Ning Yi wasn't a fool. Her big eyes rolled. If you like Mo Yu, it doesn't matter, we can be sisters forever instead. The two looked at Ning Yi without saying a word. Neither admitting nor denying. After Meng Anwen arrived, the opening time of the Godstone instance finally arrived. A soldier flew out from the fortress. He was also a god-level expert, representing the military. A solemn aura permeated the field, as if someone heard the bugle call of the battlefield. This was the aura of a soldier, which could only be cultivated through years of battlefield slaughter. Stunned by his aura, everyone's expression became serious. The teasing on their faces disappeared without a trace. Although many people present were clear that this god-level expert from the military was actually Bai Yi Yuan's man. But at this moment, he didn't represent Bai Yi Yuan, but the Divine Summer Empire's army. He came to the center of the venue, and his voice rang out loudly, "The 48th Godstone instance is now open." As he spoke, he took out a scroll and threw it into the air. The scroll exploded in the air, and amidst the starlight, an instance vortex slowly appeared. It had been hidden before, hidden in space. Then, formations lit up in the field, and hundreds of images were projected into the air. Each image was exactly the same, showing the situation inside the instance. There was no one in the instance now, so the images were all completely identical. Above each image was a number. This number was currently 0. When someone started to clear the instance, this number would naturally change. Everyone's performance in the instance would be displayed in everyone's sight. Everything would be carried out in a fair and just environment. Cheating was impossible. No one could cheat under the eyes of so many god-level experts. The Godstone instance was not only for obtaining the final reward, but also an opportunity to show oneself to the world. This was a magical instance, and it had always been like this since it was discovered. The magical thing about the instance was that it only allowed one person to enter. The challenge content and difficulty would also change according to the entrance profession and level. It could be said that everyone, whether you were level 50 or level 55, would eventually encounter the same difficulty. Lin Moyu felt that the Godstone instance wasn't like a real instance, but more like a trial field. Pass the trial, and you'll get a reward. If the results are average, the reward will be poor. If the results are good, the reward will be good. The best reward was half a piece of talent Godstone. Wait, Lin Moyu suddenly realized something was wrong. Was half a piece of talent Godstone really the best reward? The Godstone instance has been opened 48 times, once every 10 years, which is 480 years. In 480 years, at least 1 million people have entered the instance, and the best reward they've gotten is half a Godstone. But this doesn't mean that the final reward of the instance is half a Godstone. Perhaps no one has ever reached the true full score. Lin Moyu asked Meng Anwen, who had just come over, in a low voice, "Teacher, what is the highest score of this instance?" Meng Anwen said, "The highest score in history is 95 points. As long as you can reach 90 points or more, you can get half a Godstone." Lin Moyu asked, "Has no one ever gotten 100 points?" Meng Anwen shook his head, "No one has ever gotten it. Back then, both Old Bai and I went in, and we only got 94 points. What, do you suspect that half a Godstone isn't the final reward?" Lin Moyu smiled slightly, "It seems that you also have some doubts, teacher." Meng Anwen said, "Doubts are doubts, but they can't be confirmed. Why don't you try it?" Lin Moyu thought about it seriously, "Let someone else go first. If there's a chance in the end, I'll try it." "Okay," Meng Anwen said simply without saying much. "Anyway, once the Godstone instance is opened, it will last for a month, so there's no need to rush." When the introduction of the Godstone instance was over, the competition to clear the instance was about to begin. A group of people walked out of Fortress No. 4. They lined up neatly, and their movements were uniform, with a commanding presence. Everyone knew at a glance that this was a team from the military. Only the military could bring out such a disciplined team. In addition to the candidates recommended by various families and forces, there were also military professionals in the Godstone instance. As the owner of the Godstone instance, the military naturally had the right to obtain a large number of places. This time, the military sent a full 100 people to participate. Just as the military professionals appeared, 4 more people flew out of Fortress No. 4. Yi Haofei was in the front, followed by Wang Lin, Wei Kang, and Xia Shizi. Why are they here? It's actually Yi Hao. It's said that Yi Hao is living in seclusion in Fortress No. 9, intending to take control of the demon extinguishing tower. It seems that the rumors are true. I wonder if he succeeded. He probably didn't succeed, otherwise he would have shown it off long ago. You don't know how fiercely An Shen fought with these guys for the Divine Summer Tower back then. Meng Anwen also frowned slightly at this time. Why are these guys here? Lin Moyu didn't recognize them, but he knew that these people were all god-level experts, and the one in the lead was very strong. Do these people have a grudge against us? Lin Moyu asked. 57. Meng Anwen shook his head. It's not really a holiday thing, we just don't get along. No need to bother with them, they can come or not as they please. Lin Moyu asked, who are they? The leader is called Yi Hao, a level 95 divine mage, who is a generation older than both me and Lao Bai in terms of seniority. The other three are level 93 divine mage Sha Shais, level 92 divine warrior Wei Kang, and level 92 divine knight Wang Lin respectively. Lin Moyu noted all four of them down. If it was just not getting along, that was fine, but if there was hatred, these four would also be his enemies. Yi Hao and the others landed in the guest area. Yi Hao's gaze was extremely sharp as he scanned everyone, finally landing on Lin Moyu. This must be Divine General Lin, truly a formidable young man. Lin Moyu was neither servile nor overbearing. Senior Yi is too kind, this junior is still far from it. Yi Hao chuckled, young man, no need to be so modest, the future belongs to you. Then Yi Hao's gaze fell on Ning Yi and the other two, and he chuckled, Tai Ran, Xinghai, Xiao Shu, these three young ladies are your granddaughters, right? Ning Tai Ran said, that's right, what guidance does Senior Yi have? He was from Bai Yiyuan's faction and wasn't particularly friendly with Yi Hao, but they hadn't completely fallen out. Yi Hao said, I have a great-grandson, handsome and exceptionally talented. He's a good match for your granddaughter, how about we set them up? Senior Yi, Lin Moyu suddenly interrupted Yi Hao. Yi Hao looked over, does Divine General Lin have any instructions? Lin Moyu said calmly, where is Senior Yi's great-grandson? Can you call him over? Yi Hao oed, Divine General Lin is also interested in meeting my great-grandson. My great-grandson is indeed a dragon among men. Lin Moyu's eyes carried a hint of a smile, not particularly interested, I can send him on his way and put an end to your thoughts. Chapter 539, Choosing the Strongest Among the Weak. Lin Moyu's words were calm, yet full of killing intent. The guest area instantly quieted down, and several pairs of eyes focused on Lin Moyu. They were well aware of why Lin Moyu said that. The matter between Ning Tai Ran's granddaughter and Lin Moyu wasn't a secret. Yi Hao saying that was not giving Lin Moyu any face. In other words, he was slapping Meng Anwen and Bai Yiyuan in the face. Lin Moyu's counterattack was naturally also extremely sharp, with killing intent in his words. Yi Hao narrowed his eyes, Divine General Lin, what do you mean by your words? Lin Moyu said softly, the literal meaning. Let me put it another way, who is your great-grandson? Step forward, and I'll kill him. This time it was even more direct. Divine General Lin, you are being a bit too overbearing, Yi Hao sneered repeatedly. You're being very reckless. Behind him, Wang Lin and the other two stared at Lin Moyu with unfriendly gazes. Lin Moyu wasn't afraid at all. Not to mention that he had Bai Yiyuan's and Meng Anwen's faction backing him. Even if he was alone, if he was willing to pay the price, he wouldn't be afraid of them. Lin Moyu also responded with a sneer, ignoring him and instead saying to Meng Anwen, teacher, please investigate who his great-grandson is. Meng Anwen chuckled, all right, that's not difficult. No matter how deeply he hides, I can dig him out. Yi Hao's face instantly changed. He hadn't expected Lin Moyu to be serious. He had originally just wanted to discuss Bai Yiyuan and Meng Anwen, and also give Lin Moyu a warning. After all, in his eyes, Lin Moyu was just a junior, no matter how powerful. Although this junior was now very famous, even reaching the rank of a 3-star divine general at 29. Yi Hao remained skeptical about his true combat strength, and he hadn't taken Lin Moyu too seriously. But Lin Moyu's current performance made him feel a pound A, and he had a feeling of being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yi Hao's eyes flashed with a sharp light, coldly staring at Lin Moyu. He did indeed have a great-grandson, but not many people knew about it. His great-grandson was indeed a genius, but compared to Lin Moyu, he was far behind. If Lin Moyu really held a grudge against his great-grandson, it would be very troublesome. A killing intent flashed in his heart, and at this moment he had the urge to kill Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu keenly sensed his killing intent, and his heart only sneered. There were many people who wanted to kill him, the demon lords of the abyss, those dragon kings of the dragon clan, which one didn't want to kill him. Even the demon emperors in the abyss and the dragon emperors in the dragon clan also wished they could kill him. But he was still living well. The atmosphere became heavy at this moment. Yi Hao didn't know that he had touched one of Lin Moyu's sore spots, which caused such a big reaction from Lin Moyu. Buzz! A violent energy tremor came over, and the instance dungeon jumped out from the hidden space. The Godstone instance dungeon completely took shape and could be entered at any time. The Godstone instance dungeon's actions also interrupted the confrontational atmosphere between the two sides. Yi Hao forced a dry laugh on his old face. I was just joking, Divine General Lin, don't take it to heart. Lin Moyu looked at him, not saying a word. Yi Hao had the thick skin of an old man, as if what had just happened had never happened. The Godstone instance dungeon is open, let's all appreciate the performance of the young talents. Meng Anwen said softly to Lin Moyu, forget it. Lin Moyu hummed, I know. Lin Moyu naturally knew that he couldn't really fight with Yi Hao. Both sides represented their respective forces. If a collision really occurred, it wouldn't be good for the Divine Summer Empire. Moreover, Meng Anwen would next have to deploy formations all over the country, and some areas would involve the forces of Yi Hao's faction. If they really made a big fuss, there wouldn't be much benefit. The reason why Lin Moyu behaved like this was also to give the other party a warning, to tell them that he wasn't easy to bully. Now that the goal had been achieved, Lin Moyu wouldn't go all the way to the end. The confrontation between the two sides ended with Yi Hao's retreat, and it seemed that Lin Moyu's side had gained the upper hand. Although Yi Hao had given himself a way out, his expression naturally wouldn't be good. In any case, the atmosphere finally eased somewhat, and the Godstone tournament officially began. Above the instance dungeon, the formation projected a total of 100 screens. Each time 100 people entered the instance dungeon, and each person was displayed in the picture in turn. Everything they experienced in the instance dungeon, and the various choices they made, would be reflected on the screen. The scores on the screen would also change as they continued to advance. The higher the score, the better their performance. The first batch of professionals were successively teleported into the instance dungeon and began their instance dungeon journey. The military's divine level expert who had summoned the instance dungeon was now standing in front of the instance dungeon and began to explain. Each level passed in the instance dungeon earns 10 points. Being able to pass the 9th level will grant half a piece of talent Godstone. As for the 10th level, no one has cleared it so far. Hopefully, someone will be able to clear the 10th level this year. In fact, all the major families had information about the Godstone instance dungeon. Even if he didn't explain, everyone would know. Through the screen, Lin Moyu saw the first level. The levels and professions of the people entering the instance dungeon were different, but the first level was generally the same. In front of everyone was a high mountain. The mountain was about 20 to 30 meters high, looming like dark clouds. Then, a large number of black spots flew out of the mountain and roared towards the professionals. 58. These black dots varied in speed, adjusted according to the level and class of the professionals in the instance. Even at the same level 50, mage-type professionals faced much slower black dots than other professionals. Very fair. Lin Moyu merely glanced at them and knew what the first test was about. The first test was about reaction speed, and the key was how to avoid these black dots. The black dots seemed numerous, but they left enough gaps. Any professional, as long as they weren't too bad, could easily pass the first test. Everyone's face showed no panic. They obviously already knew the specific content of the test. Facing the overwhelming black dots, they not only did not retreat but instead ran towards the black dots. They unfolded their flexible postures, shuttling back and forth between the black dots. Lin Moyu lost interest after watching for a while. This first level was not difficult at all. Sure enough, after only a minute, everyone successfully passed the first level. The numbers on each screen changed simultaneously, from 0 points to 10 points. Soon, the second level began. The second level's test changed from reaction to strength. Everyone had a large stone in front of them. No matter what method they used, as long as they could smash the stone, they would pass. The higher the level of the professional, the larger the volume of the stone they faced, and the more solid the stone would be. This level also couldn't stump all the professionals. The professionals who could be selected to participate in the Godstone instance were not weak. Under the gaze of thousands of eyes, if they couldn't even pass the second level, they would not only lose face themselves but also lose face for their families. The first level is reaction, the second is strength, so what is the third level? While Lin Moyu was guessing, everyone passed the second level one after another, with almost no distinction between them. For them, the second level was indeed not difficult at all, and the scores all reached 20 points. The third level began, and a huge white tiger appeared in front of everyone. The white tiger was surrounded by howling winds, clearly displaying its attributes. Wind attribute white tiger. The white tigers faced by each person were all of the same level as themselves, which was still very fair. After the white tiger appeared, the battle began. The wind attribute white tiger possessed both amazing speed and considerable strength. It caused a lot of trouble for everyone in the instance. Lin Moyu frowned slightly. The first level is reaction, which is speed. The second level is strength. The third level directly enters actual combat. The white tiger has considerable speed and strength, which corresponds to the first two levels. The first two levels are passive tests, and this level becomes an active test. Meng Anwen said softly, from this level on, some people will be eliminated. Lin Moyu was a little strange. This white tiger looks powerful, but it's actually only at the level of an ordinary elite monster, even weaker than the ordinary monsters in the Hell instance. He didn't understand how such a weak monster could not be defeated. This is normal. Bai Yiyuan's voice sounded from the side. Bai Yiyuan and Zhu Qingliu walked over, side by side, to Lin Moyu's side. Bai Yiyuan whispered, not every professional can have your combat power. Most professionals, before understanding themselves, their combat power is actually not as good as those small monsters in the Hell difficulty instance. Why do we humans form teams? It's because humans are not strong. But among the not-so-strong groups, we have to choose strong individuals. Isn't it contradictory? Lin Moyu pondered Bai Yiyuan's words, in a not-so-strong group, select strong individuals. These words seemed contradictory, but they were consistent with Antares' theory. It's better to have one god level than 100 level 89s. Any group needs truly top-notch powerful individuals. And the God Stone instance seems to be selecting powerful individuals. Chapter 540. Fortunately, I was born early. Lin Moyu understood the purpose of the God Stone instance. It was to select truly powerful individuals with potential. Lin Moyu whispered, is it true that those who can get more than 90 points in the God Stone instance can become God level? Bai Yiyuan let out a hearty laugh. It's not that simple. More than 90 points only proves that you have the potential to become God level, and it's not 100%. It's just that getting a high score in the God Stone instance will increase the possibility of becoming God level. Those who don't even get 90 points basically have no hope of becoming gods. Meng Anwen said, since the God Stone instance was discovered, it has been 480 years. In the past, more than 1 million people entered the instance in total. Only less than 500 people have exceeded 90 points, and basically only about 10 people each time the instance is opened. But among these less than 500 people, only more than 50 people can eventually reach the god level. Lin Moyu sighed softly after listening to the numbers given by Meng Anwen. It's really not easy to become a god level. Zhu Qingliu, who was next to Bai Yi, chuckled, it's difficult for others, but it shouldn't be difficult for Xiao Yu. Yi Yuan and I have talked about Xiao Yu's affairs. Xiao Yu will definitely become a god level. Zhu Qingliu's beautiful face bloomed with a bright smile. If you have any difficulties, just ask your teacher's wife. I will definitely help if I can. Thank you, teacher's wife. Lin Moyu responded with a smile. Such a good teacher's wife is hard to find even with a lantern. In the God Stone instance, the screen changed again. Out of 100 people, 90% of them successfully killed the white tiger and passed the level smoothly. As rays of light descended from the sky and landed on everyone, the passers-by were fully restored. Whether it was skill cooldowns or physical fitness, the consumption of mental power was all restored to the initial state. Their scores also reached 30 points. There were also a few people who were eliminated, just as Meng Anwen said, and appeared outside the instance in a disheveled manner. These people's faces were extremely ugly, and they were eliminated in the third level. It was a great loss of face. These people didn't even have the face to stay here and quickly left the venue. Meng Anwen said, these people are just trash with levels but no actual combat ability. Lin Moyu whispered, level does not represent strength. The human race needs powerful warriors, not high-level weaklings. In the instance, the 4th level has already begun. It was still the Wind Tiger, but its level had been raised. It exceeded each professional's level by 3. Level 50 professionals will face level 53 Wind Tigers. This kind of scene was commonplace for Lin Mo Yu. He had always faced enemies who were dozens of levels higher than him. Exceeding his level by only 3 levels didn't feel like anything. But for other professionals, that was much more difficult. For a time, various scenes were staged in the instance. Some were chased by the Wind Tiger, looking extremely embarrassed. Some tried hard to fight with the Wind Tiger. Although they were a little embarrassed, they showed extraordinary combat power. Some dealt with it calmly. Facing the Wind Tiger that was 3 levels higher than themselves, there was no pressure at all. The gap in combat power began to manifest. Lin Mo Yu saw that some people dealt with the Wind Tiger very easily, without any difficulty. Obviously, their combat power was very strong, and they still had plenty of spare strength, enough for them to continue walking. 59. Those who are already in a sorry state now have no possibility of continuing. If they aren't eliminated in this level, they will inevitably be eliminated in the next. Looking around, at least half of the professionals will be eliminated after this level. The reward of half a divine stone in the divine stone instance is not easy to obtain. On the stands outside the guest area, thousands of people were pointing and commenting on the performance of the people inside the instance. They are also about to enter the instance, and watching others' trials now is equivalent to accumulating experience for themselves. Some people feel honored when they see their fellow clansmen pass the test and perform well. If they see their fellow clansmen perform poorly, they will feel they have lost face. So pathetic, if I were there, I definitely wouldn't be like that. How could they fight so miserably? Have they never fought monsters before? It's just a monster that doesn't even count as a boss, what's so difficult about it? I could even solo a boss for you to see. The stands were incredibly lively, with everyone expressing their opinions. At the very top of the stands, a group of old fellows sat together. They all squinted at the young people below, feeling the enthusiastic atmosphere. Once upon a time, most of them were also members of that group, and they had also participated in the Divine Stone instance. In a corner of the stands, 2 pairs of eyes were staring at Lin Moi from afar. One pair of eyes belonged to Shui Jejun, and his gaze was filled with hatred. This hatred was very well hidden. He already knew Lin Moi's identity and knew that he couldn't get revenge. If he wanted revenge, he would have to wait for an opportunity. Perhaps, his gaze turned to Shu Han. The other gaze belonged to Shan Feiying, who patted his chest with a look of relief. Fortunately I didn't provoke him. The Divine General's woman, even if I had 9 heads, it wouldn't be enough for her to chop off. Mo Yun, this girl is destined to be out of my reach. The 2 people had different thoughts. Different personalities naturally led them to different paths and different endings. The trials in the instance continued. The difficulty of the 5th level increased again. Not only did the Wind Tiger's level not continue to increase, but it actually dropped back down to the same level as the professionals. But beside it, a second tiger appeared. A fire tiger whose whole body was burning with raging flames. The fire tiger was not as fast as the Wind Tiger, but its attack power was even greater, and its offensive was even fiercer. The 2 tigers with completely different attributes cooperated with each other, making the professionals scream for their parents and cry for their mothers. All kinds of embarrassing scenes emerged one after another, causing everyone outside to laugh heartily. But they didn't think that they would soon enter the instance and face the same situation. When that time comes, the people outside will also make fun of them. Meng Anwen said, the 5th level is the Fire Tiger, the 6th level is the Water Tiger, and the 7th level is the Lightning Tiger. Wind, fire, water, and lightning, the 4 tigers combine into one, transforming into a boss, which is the 8th level. Lin Moi asked, what about the 9th level? Meng Anwen whispered, the 9th level is also known as the Endless level. Wind, fire, water, and lightning, the 4 elemental tigers will continue to appear, and their numbers will increase. For every minute you persist, you can get 1 point. Lin Moi calculated that Meng Andy had obtained 94 points back then. That is to say, he persisted for at least 14 minutes. It's unknown how many tiger monsters would appear in 14 minutes, and it was already not easy to persist. This kind of combat power is quite strong. But for himself, it didn't seem to be difficult. He could not only persist, but also counterattack. Just as Meng Anwen said, the instance was becoming more and more difficult. People were constantly being eliminated. By the time they reached the 7th level, with the wind, fire, water, and lightning tigers all appearing, only 5 people out of the 100 were still in the instance. 95% of the people had already been eliminated. Looking at these 5 people, they were also in imminent danger. Under the attack of the 4 elemental tigers, they only had the power to defend. Bai Yiyuan said with a hint of disdain, "These people are too weak, far worse than we were back then." Meng Anwen said, "That's normal, it's impossible for so many geniuses to appear. And now that we have Little Moi, the geniuses of this era can only be overshadowed." Bai Yiyuan laughed loudly, "That's for sure, Little Moi suppressing an era is not a problem. Fortunately, I was born earlier, otherwise I wouldn't even think about getting ahead." His words made Zhu Qingliu laugh out loud. Your skin is really thick." Bai Yiyuan chuckled, "Whether my skin is thick or not depends on who I'm comparing myself to. At least compared to someone, my skin is not considered thick." His words were suggestive, but Meng Anwen ignored him and didn't take them to heart. When the last person was eliminated, this round of 100-person trials was completely over. No one broke through to the 9th level to obtain half of the talent Divine Stone. The best result was the 7th level, and the final score obtained was only 60 points. Second batch, 100 people, step forward. The divine level powerhouse from the military who was in charge of the Divine Stone instance shouted loudly. Immediately, 100 professionals who had been prepared stepped forward one after another and quickly entered the instance. A new round of trials began again. Lin Moi lost interest after watching it once. He came to Ning Yi's side. "Are you confident?" Ning Yi smiled playfully. "No problem, I underwent special training in the family's secret realm specifically for the Divine Stone instance. I have at least a 70% chance of reaching the 9th level." Lin Moi said softly, "Be careful and don't push yourself too hard. Even if you don't get the talent Divine Stone, it doesn't matter, I'll think of another way." Ning Yi smiled sweetly and beautifully. "I know, don't worry, this instance is not dangerous at all. The Divine Stone instance is very safe, and nothing has happened in hundreds of years." Lin Moi also knew this, so he didn't say anything more. Mo Yun and Shu Han looked at Ning Yi's sweet smile and were both a little envious. Lin Moi didn't even ask them to.